We've got a crash. It is at Old Hickory Boulevard, just north of I-24. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Welcome, one and all. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day and another week. Pleased to be with you. Thank you for being with us. It is Monday, October 20. Is that right? Is that right?
It's almost Halloween.
Good. When did that, Weaver, when did that happen?
20 days ago.
Man, oh, man. I don't get it. I mean, I feel like we went from my birthday on September 1st, right at the beginning of football season, and
To right now
in like that. Good gracious. A lot of time flies when you're not looking, y'all.
Yeah.
Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you had as good a weekend as the Oklahoma Sooners.
Boomer.
They had a pretty good weekend.
Won't be a good weekend in 2 weeks.
Let's not look too far ahead there, grumpy pants. There's Jackson Williams. He's a little bit grumpy when we talk about the foosball.
There was no football this weekend on account of the protests. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, we're going to find out how Jackson enjoyed the No Kings rally. He went out to the No Kings rally over the course of the weekend, I'm sure. So we'll find out how that went for him. There's Ken Weaver. He's back in News Closet B. He gathers headlines and delivers them for a living, and he is quick with a pithy comment. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
What's pithy?
Pithy. That means snappy.
Oh,
that
snappy.
Means get in there, and boom, and get right out. And everybody goes, "Was that Weaver?" Oh, that's funny. They say. I had a guy ask me last night, Ken Weaver. I was at an event.
Yeah.
That I'll talk about a little bit later on with Senator Jack Johnson. It was his.
the big.
It was his boots and jeans barbecue and beans. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we
good.
have guests today?
It was good. Yeah. Well, you don't know about that because of the 8-hour meeting.
8? That was generous. I thought it was 10.
It was. We had a big meeting, Ken.
Big meeting?
Yeah, there was a big meeting going on, and I'm going to read you a portion of the text exchange.
Okay.
Between Jackson Williams, our illustrious. I might clean it up a little bit. Our illustrious.
You have to clean up a lot of it.
I might have to clean this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Our illustrious executive producer of the Matt Murphy Radio Show here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Might be former after he reads these text messages.
We had a little bit of a meeting today, and it lasted. I mean, but it was good. It was a good meeting,
productive.
Good meeting. But the meeting chairs they leave a little something to be desired,
especially when you're in them for 2 hours.
So. At first, the first message I sent over to Jackson is because the meeting was lasting a little longer than we anticipated. I said, "Show today, or should we just go home?" Jackson's response was, "Holy bleep, my bleep hurts. This chair sucks."
I stand by that.
No pun intended.
We should have stood.
I needed to
stood,
stand.
yeah.
The stand after the meeting. Oh. It was great.
It was the best part. Best part of the meeting. It was a good meeting. Good meeting. Good meeting, everybody. Good meeting.
I worked with a guy, man. He was a malcontent. And after every meeting, you say, "Hey, Larry, what'd you think about that meeting?" He'd say, "The pizza sure was good."
I didn't know Bell's first name was Larry.
Yeah, you can get good. We didn't get pizza. That was the biggest problem with the meeting.
I'm
kind
of snacky.
I am kind of snacky. It was 2 hours of all I had was a little Monster Energy drink. Anyway, we're going to have a good 4-hour gathering together. You can call it a meeting if you desire on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Plenty to get into and plenty of ways to listen or watch the radio show in progress. If you enjoy seeing me in this little vest, you better get you better get a looky-loo right now because I'm not going to have it on for very long because these lights are hot. It's hot in our room. So the vest is coming off and maybe the shirt. Hell, I don't know. I don't know what we'll do at some point. You can watch and find out on Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. Give us the old like, thumbs up, subscribe, do what you do. What does that cost, folks, Ken?
Absolutely nothing, boys. Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing to say yes and like and subscribe and thumbs up and all of those things, and we'd appreciate you doing so. You can also find us on a variety of platforms, applications, they call them, iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, just to name 3. We have our own. Download us at Supertalk 99.7 WTN. Take us wherever you go. And then, of course, you can listen on the traditional platform known as the good old radio, 99.7 FM. I met a lot of fine folks that were loyal listeners to the show yesterday evening. And that's what I was going to mention to you, Ken, is that somebody asked me, said, what's that Ken Weaver look like? And I described you. And he said, I'd love, and I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating. He said, what's that Ken Weaver look like? And I said, oh, I know he's he's on a little bit of the shorter side. He's got a nice long goatee. I said, you can watch him on Talk TV. And he said,
5'6", Harry.
were you there? Because that's exactly what I said. So he said, is he as much fun as he sounds on the radio? And I said, funner. He is funner than he sounds on the radio. But anyway, a lot of folks asking about Weaver. Not so many about Jackson. Interesting.
Oh,
you got a few. You got a few. Let me tell you. You know who loves? What I learned last night?
What's that?
Over in Franklin at the factory. You know who loves them some Jackson?
Who's that?
Like the right around the 55-year-old range females. They love Jackson Williams on the radio. Love hearing those snappy responses. You get in there and get out.
Yeah.
Not so pithy like Weaver, but, good enough.
I'm like a poor man's Ken Weaver. I just push the buttons, boys.
Give him a yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Oh, it should be a good show today. Okay, so we'll have a lot of fun, and I'll tell you all about last night. It was a good time.
Yes.
Got to talk to Senator Blackburn and Senator Haggerty about this government shutdown. We're in, what are we in, day 18, 19?
It's day 20.
Is it day 20? Oh, well, my math is all unmathed. We're already on day 20 of the government shutdown. All Democrats want is chaos, and they feel like, I don't feel like the Democrats are very happy with their very successful protest that they had yesterday or day before yesterday.
Some of them seem more angry
After the protest.
Yeah, Trump was trolling them.
I don't understand. You had a protest because you're so mad, and I feel like you would blow off a little bit of steam, and now you seem angrier than you were before. It's almost as if they're mad that we don't care.
Not getting attention.
100%. I mean that. It's like they're mad because we don't care. It's like they think that we were going to stop them. Friends on the leftist side of the aisle, my liberal listeners, may I alert you to a hot take. We don't give a crap what you do on your Saturday. Just don't get in my way. Just don't break any laws and don't get in my way. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because you're protesting something that's not a thing. Which is why we think it's so funny. We think you're funny. And the madder you get, the funnier you get. And yes, it's funny that half the people at these protests were old Karens, dragging their pathetic husbands along, half of which voted for Trump, and you know I'm right. They'll never admit it because they would be verbally berated from now till the end of time. But I watched these protests, and let me tell you something. Of these 50-something, and I'm not knocking them, y'all, it's fine. It's all well and good. But the 60-year-old liberal female, you can see them and smell them a mile away. And they're dragging their poor husbands along with them or significant others along with them. And let me tell you something. Women, you know who you are. if you drug your husband to that event and he didn't really want to go, but he went to support you to this No Kings rally, let me tell you something. I guarantee you 30% of those men voted for Trump, and they would never admit it. They would never tell you that they voted for Trump, but they voted for Trump. They're just afraid of you. There's a reason the guy won the election of 2024. And oh, by the way, we had ours on November 5th of 2024. More on that coming up in just a moment. But anyway, we'll reflect on the good old No Kings rally that occurred. I'll give you my thoughts on all of that. We'll give you thoughts on the government shutdown. Day 20. I thought it was day 18 or 19, but apparently already on day 20. Man, oh man, shutdowns fly when you're having fun, don't they? Hamas, let me tell you something, and I'm going to get into this in a minute too. Y'all need to know that Hamas is going to continue to kill people as long as we let them. And until and unless we kill all of them, they're going to continue to kill people because that's all they know and that's what they do. There's one group of people that have engaged in warfare begrudgingly, and there's one group of people that is engaging in warfare gleefully, and we're going to talk about who's who on this radio show in just a moment. And I'm happy to do that. We'll talk about the hunting stand that was found in Palm Beach, which is a very odd story, but we'll break it down for you. There's just a lot to get into on the show today. Most importantly, your telephone calls at 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. You can jump in on the phone lines. You can jump in on the super text line, of course, and there's always the live chat on YouTube TV. That is a wild place, and I do not encourage you, if you are a faint of heart, to go in there, just because it's an unmonitored situation and it's pretty darn crazy. So that's how to listen, that's how to watch, and we appreciate you doing both on the Matt Murphy side of things. So, look, I'm happy for you folks that went out to the No Kings event, and y'all are very proud of yourselves. Now, obviously, from an organizational standpoint and from a funding standpoint, we know that this was an AstroTurf series of rallies across the United States of America. In other words, it happened from the top down, not from the bottom up. It's not a grassroots deal. It's an AstroTurf deal, right? And it is well-funded by these Soros types. George Soros is some of the funding out of this. Indivisible is another organization that is routing money to these local communities. And yes, some of the protesters are not paid. Some of the protesters, I would assure you, are paid. But none of that matters. None of it matters. Because here's the deal, friends. I feel like the leftists that went out and made spectacles of themselves, you could probably group them into two basic groups. There's a lot of old Karens, no offense to you Karens in the audience. There's a lot of old Karens out there with their husbands or significant others. And then there's a lot of crazies. And then maybe there's some genuine left of center people that just wanted to see what the hell was going on. Here's the problem that y'all have if you're attempting to affect change. What do you want? No Kings. When do you want it? Now. Okay, you've got it. Congratulations. Right? As I said last night, I was addressing this the Boots and Jeans Barbecue and Beans event. And I was like, for the most part, people on the political left are screaming, "No Kings!" And everyone else in America is going, okay. Now, the funny, they had a No Kings rally in Great Britain, which I think is pretty funny. To which Prince Charles is going, wait, what? I mean,
isn't he King Charles now?
Yeah, I mean, did I say Prince Charles?
Yes.
My bad. For most of my life, he was Prince Charles. Yeah, King Charles is like, what? No Kings.
What you talking about over there, boys?
Hey, whoa. Yeah,
Let's not be hasty.
Might want to simmer down over here on this side of the pond. So from an organizational and funding standpoint, we can talk about that and what it means down the road because obviously I promise you that those organizing these events are going to try to utilize some of the collected data for their own purposes on down the way. But from a messaging standpoint, I mean, if it makes y'all feel better, it didn't seem to work because the political left seems angrier that they had successful rallies all across the country than they did before. I mean, friends, the rest of the country, if you went to a No Kings rally over the weekend, more power to you. That's great. That's fine. But you know why? Because I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. I believe in the First Amendment. You know, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And so apparently Saturday afternoon, while most normal Americans are off watching football or enjoying their family or enjoying the beauty of the day before the storms rolled in on Saturday night, there were apparently a gathering of people. I've seen the photographs. There were gatherings of people outside of the state capitol, and they gathered peaceably, and they petitioned to the government for a redress of grievances. All right, let's go. More power to you. That's America right there. You don't have to agree with me. I believe in your right to peaceably assemble. And what are your grievances? You want no kings. Well, that doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense because we don't have a king. Now, some of you might, well, Matt, you need to understand that it's deeper than that. Well, no, tell me what it is then. Explain to me specifically what the people that protested on Saturday want. They've told me what they don't want, and they already have it. They don't want kings. Okay. You don't have kings. Great. Anything else? Because apparently all of you can disperse and go on home. Way to go. You peaceably assembled. And you petitioned the government, and you got what you wanted. Congratulations, no kings. Well, what else is there? Because it feels to me like there's something else going on. And I'm not talking about from an organizational standpoint. I think that's a different piece, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm talking about from the people that were angry and frustrated enough that they bought themselves a blow-up dinosaur costume, and they blew that sucker on up, and they went on down to the State House. You know, the folks that were angry enough to buy themselves a nice little piece of poster board, and they got some markers out of their kids' room, or, they probably don't have any kids. They got some markers off of the marker aisle, and they purchased those, and they drew themselves a sign, and it had a little king sign. Maybe they did a little thing of Trump over there, and they put a big red thing around him with a no symbol through that, and they no kings, and oh, yeah, that's great. Or perhaps they came up with some sort of witty response to Donald Trump's actions while president of the United States of America. And now what? You feel better? Y'all pitch a little fit? You feel better? I mean, I'm not trying to diminish anything. I'm genuinely trying to understand what you want, because here's what it feels like to me. Y'all are mad that Donald Trump won. That's it. That's the end of the sentence. That's the end of the sentiment. These no king rallies were designed to show liberals that there are other people in the United States of America that voted with them. And they're angry that Donald Trump won too. You cannot really point to anything specific that he's done that would properly be characterized as, that wasn't me, that would probably be characterized as authoritarian in nature. And so you're just speaking in vagaries. But more power to you. What do we want? No kings. When do we want it? Now. Congratulations. Go on home. It's 24 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What's up, friends? It's Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. J.K. and Erica Brister are great Americans, and they run a great American company called U.S. Pest. They've been growing that business for years now in Middle Tennessee, and they want you to be their next U.S. Pest customer. Or their next U.S. Pest employee. That's right. They're always hiring because they're always growing at U.S. Pest. And if you're looking to get into the industry, they can help you. If you are a motivated individual and you are wanting to get into the industry, just call J.K. or Erica Brister at the number that I'm about to give you, and they can walk you through that process. Also, if you're looking for a new pest control company because you don't currently have one, or if you're dissatisfied with your current company, never you fear. Full-service pest control offered with U.S. Pest with a 100% money-back guarantee. Oh, man, they do a great job. They make sure that all these bugs that want to come in and steal what's yours keep away from your home, whether it's full-service pest control, termite protection, or crawl-space service. They've got it at U.S. Pest. Go to uspest.com. That's uspest.com, or call. Here's the number, 590-1260, 615-590-1260 for U.S. Pest. What is up, friends? It's Matt Murphy, and I'm insanely excited to tell you about a brand new sponsor of the Matt Murphy Radio Show. But you've been hearing a lot about them through Dan Mandis, through Chad Benson, and the rest of the team at Super Talk. It is Contours LLC. Look, I'm getting older, and I've lost a little bit of weight. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, you might notice that I've lost a few pounds, and I'm trying to eat right. I'm trying to exercise a little bit better, but the reality is simple. I need a little help, and I need some help in some areas that Contours in Cool Springs can help me in. It's all about making you feel better about yourself. It's not necessarily for me about a number on a scale. It's about what I see looking back at me in the mirror. And from Dan Mandis's mouth to my ears, from Chad Benson's mouth to my ears, and now I get to tell the afternoon crew about Contours LLC. What do? They can help both men and women lose body fat and much more. Their ultra slim body contouring guarantees now, you will lose 2 inches or that first treatment is free. It's non-invasive, it doesn't hurt, and the results are instant. And here's the great thing. I'm going tomorrow morning to meet Keith and the team at Contours LLC. So I get to report back to you tomorrow afternoon about everything that I find out so we can walk through this journey together. If you want to go in with me, make the call today to 615-236-9960. That's 236-9960, or visit contoursllc.com and schedule your appointment. That's 615-236-9960, and I'll see you at Contours LLC.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast. Another traffic update coming up in 5 minutes. Right now, Channel 4's Marius Payton is keeping tabs on that barricaded suspect in Lebanon story we've been telling you about.
This situation is not a threat to the public, but schools near Crosswinds condominiums, they were placed on soft lockdown. This includes Briars Dowdy Elementary School, Winfrey Bryant Middle School, and child care services at The Journey. Authorities say a wanted suspect barricaded himself inside one of the homes. That's on Leeville Pike. The Lebanon Police SWAT team, they're on the scene. We're told officers are working on getting that suspect out in a peaceful manner.
Now, the suspect apparently wanted on outstanding warrants here in Davidson County. Police in Atlanta say they thwarted what could have been a mass shooting at one of the country's busiest airports. Here's Police Chief Darren Schauerbaum.
Today is how it should work. Community, law enforcement, dedicated men and women wearing the uniform and trained to respond when their community needs them.
Yeah, authorities say Billy Cagle drove to the south terminal of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to assess crowd levels. But police were alerted to his activities by family members and arrested him at the airport. They say they found an assault rifle in his truck.
I do believe that Mr. Cagle was headed back to his truck to retrieve it, and I do believe he was likely to use that weapon inside the crowded terminal that he had just seen.
Cagle reportedly told family members via FaceTime call that he was going to, quote, shoot up the airport. His family immediately alerted authorities. And a new U.S.-Australia trade deal on rare earth minerals shaking up China's grip on the global supply chain. This agreement gives the U.S. a more secure source of critical materials used in everything from missiles to smartphones. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Over here on I-40 past Church Street, looks like police reporting a crash there, exit 209A. And then Bell Road got a crash there in Antioch. Police say it is right next to I-24. I'm Ken Weaver.
You know, before it gets too cold, friends, you are encouraged to get by Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. If you value your lawn, and what good homeowner does not, then it is seed season, and Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply is here for all of your needs. They're ready for all the seeds, fertilizers, pre-emergents, and herbicides that you need to get your property ready for the winter and even for next year. That's right. What happens next to spring is done right now on your lawn to make sure that everything is as it should be. Their proven turf technology, Tall Fescue Blend with premium starter fertilizers will not be found at the big box stores. They do their best to have the best price around, and they carry things that the big box guys simply do not because they are your local professional dealership. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, the go-to place for your lawn. Their locations in Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. DickensSupply.com. That's DickensSupply.com. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy. If you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, you want the best modern technology with top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work, guys, you need Advanced Hair Restoration. They've completely redefined hair restoration from the experience itself to their unmatched results. If you have a receding hairline, a bald spot, thinning hair, you can address them all with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment in a calm and relaxed environment with the most experienced professionals. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of these incredible and breakthrough treatments, and they want you to be next in line. Get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. You heard me correctly, the very next day. For your consultation and a $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Contact them at 629-348-HAIR. That's 629-348-HAIR, or go to advancedhair.com. Once again, advancedhair.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Would love to hear from you. Always open with the phone lines Monday through Friday from 3 until 7 o'clock. I value and enjoy conversations with you, no matter your political affiliation or political stripe. So we take all comers on the Matt Murphy Show at 615-737-9986. As a matter of fact, I enjoy the engagement so much, I like to say that disagreement goes to the front of the line. If you disagree with me about any political position that I hold or anything that we're talking about, come on, and we'll get you on the radio and let you speak truth to power. 615-737-9986. I should mention, it is episode 906 of the Murphy Show proceedings today. That's 906 episodes. I don't know if that means, I think we'll get to 1,000 before the end of the year. I think that maybe not. We might have to wait till right at the beginning of the year. Trying to figure out how that math works out. One way or the other, we're getting close to 1,000 episodes. Big party when 1,000 comes, if we get there, which I'm not so sure that we will. You know, remains to be. If I don't start feeling any better, I feel a lot better today, Jackson. I just, I feel a lot better today. Last week was a mess, an absolute mess. And as long as nobody is sick, Ken Weaver, you sick?
Nope.
Ken's good. Jackson, you sick? Oh, stop it. You look great.
Yeah, I feel great.
I mean, everything feels good except you're behind for sitting on that chair for so long.
Yeah, this chair much more comfortable.
You know what I think? I think I might have had the vid.
What you got to do, Brother Murphy, is you got to grow that beard bigger because that's what protects me.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
The beard stops it all.
It catches all those allergens and whatnot?
Yes, sir.
All those
Then
nasty...
you just go home at the end of the day, you just wash it real good.
It's like your auto mask. It's like a personal mask there. And you can catch food items in there and have it for later.
Bingo.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So you'll be less whiny this week?
A little bit of a flavor saver. Yes, the answer to that is I don't know that I feel like I was whiny last week, Jackson, but I feel like I persevered. I
powered through it, Brother Murphy.
I slogged through. So thank you very much. So I'm on my game today, Jackson, so you better watch yourself. Although I do have a cough, so if I still have this lingering thing. So if I cough on you, I apologize. I don't mean to cough on you. If I do, I'm so sorry. John in Lawrenceburg says, am I right, Matt, or am I right? Well, John, I don't know. That's the entire message. John in Lawrenceburg has written in, and John says, am I right, Matt, or am I right? Well, I think you're right. No, he said, actually, before then, he mentioned what protests during football season. Well, no, I mean, look. It's kind of funny. I do think that most of these protesters thought for some reason that they were going to get some sort of pushback or backlash. And like, do y'all think that do y'all have this misguided belief that we don't believe in the First Amendment? Do you have this misunderstanding of what your constitutional rights are and how we value those rights as a society? Because I don't believe anyone on the political right. I don't speak for the Republican Party. I don't speak for Republicans. I am not a Republican. I don't speak for anyone but Matt Murphy. But I can suggest to you that most of the people that I talk to on a daily basis believe in the First Amendment. They believe that even if you disagree with them, you most certainly have the right peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for whatever you want. Now, you've got to tell me what that is. And several of you are writing in and trying to help me understand it. One of those people is a fellow by the name of Clint. Clint has written in and says this: it's an excellent question that highlights the symbolic nature of political slogans. The phrase "no kings" in the context of recent rallies, I don't feel like, by the way, I don't think Clint wrote this. I'm going to read it, and y'all tell me if this is cut and paste or not. Now, I don't know Clint. I appreciate Clint listening to the show. But Clint, something tells me that you cut and pasted this from somewhere. All right, here we go. It's an excellent question that highlights the symbolic nature of political slogans. The phrase "no kings" in the context of recent rallies in the United States is not a literal call to abolish the presidency or a push against the historical British monarchy. Instead, this is so Grok. This is so ChatGPT.
You can tell already.
You can tell already. Instead, it is a rallying cry used to protest what organizers and participants view as an overreach of executive power or a drift toward authoritarianism in the U.S. government. Here's a breakdown of what the No Kings rally is trying to accomplish. Number one, what the slogan means. Symbolic reference. The slogan draws directly from the founding principle of the United States, the rejection of a monarchy, and the establishment of a democratic republic in 1776. By invoking the American Revolution's core ideal, protesters emphasize that the U.S. system is founded on accountability to the people, not on a single unchecked ruler. Yes, that is correct. And we went to the people just last November and asked for said accountability check, and they gave us one, and they elected Donald J. Trump. Number two, what are they trying to accomplish? The primary goals of the No Kings rallies are generally pro-democracy and anti-authoritarian, specifically protesting the actions of Trump, the Trump administration, during his time in office and potential future actions. Their key demands and goals include limiting executive power. They aim to push back against policies and actions that they believe concentrate power. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused. If that's all true, and Clint, I have no reason to believe that you did not copy and paste that from some authoritative source. Tell me how, I mean, our No Kings rally was November 5th of 2024. And that involved people going to the polls and voting. And overwhelmingly, I don't know if you checked, but overwhelmingly people voted for this. Y'all, and by the way, y'all are just going to have to excuse me. I've reached the phase of illness where I just can't control coughing, and I'm very sorry. And I hope to get through it.
It's all right, Brother Murphy.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you. I popped a lozenge. Hoped that the lozenge would help me. So I'm just going to remind you of this so that Jackson doesn't think that I'm dying.
I will make a funny noise every time he coughs from now on. No, you got to turn your mic off.
Oh, no.
Matt's coughing.
Is that the funny noise? I just want to know what the funny noise is.
Matt's coughing.
Are you going to do that every time?
Maybe. I might switch it up. Matt's coughing.
No, that one was a legit. That one was a legitimate. I wasn't faking. Folks, y'all, I hope y'all had a good time. I hope you feel like you accomplished something. Donald Trump has in no way exceeded his authority as the president of the United States of America. And the process by which we check him on that is not by gathering together on a Saturday afternoon, a perfectly good Saturday afternoon, and dressing up in funny costumes and, you know, buying poster board, supporting the poster board industry. Big poster board, very happy about the No Kings rally over the weekend. The remedy, and
he's coughing again.
The remedy to that is to present ideas and ideals and arguments that make sense to the American people. The remedy to that is to win elections. And look, if y'all believe that it is a good enough argument to scream about how awful and evil Donald Trump is, I think that's what y'all tried in 2024, and it did not seem to work. And thus far, the American people do not seem that disturbed. Maybe you are. Maybe your folks are. With the manner in which he has exercised his duties. As a matter of fact, you say, well, we didn't vote for this. Well, I did. I did. And I understand that there are some hot button aspects to the issues in play, such as immigration, illegal immigration, sending people back home. We're not afraid of having that discussion. If that's the discussion that you want to have, just tell me, and we'll talk about it. O180 says, hey, my name is Clint, too. I always love these. My name is Clint, too, and I would just like to say I do not condone the actions of the other Clint.
He's coughing.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. I added that part. He did not. All right, maybe Derek has some thoughts on all of this. Hey, Derek.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm good. Hope you are.
I'm good. I'm sorry you got a cough, buddy.
And so, you know, it's and now it's in here, and it's not going to get out for, I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll talk for a minute, give you a break.
Thank you, brother.
I just wanted to say what this No Kings thing's about. You know, 251 years ago we had a king, and 250 years ago we said we want no kings. I believe this is a conditioning, the language of these are fascists, these people are, you know, they're out of control, they're just going to do whatever they want to do, they're never going to leave office is what people are saying. I believe it is a conditioning to get people to fight an American revolution. We've never had an American revolution. A revolution is when you kill and replace. We had a Declaration of Independence. We said we don't want to have any more of what you've got. But, you know, we tried that again, and they called it a civil war. You know, a whole country was formed and said, we don't want any more of what you got.
It's fine. Can I interject one quick thing? It's kind of funny you mentioned that, because I've always thought, you know, the winners write the history books, right?
Yeah, right, absolutely.
And I'm not saying I would want it to be this way. I'm not, you know, I'm just saying that if the South had successfully removed itself from the rest of the country, it would have been called a Southern Revolution instead of a civil war. We weren't really fighting over the same piece of property. It's really not a classical civil war by any definition. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, you know, the whole thing of, you know, we voluntarily joined a union but was not allowed to disjoin anyway. But the thing is, you know, I think they're conditioning people to believe that they're going to have to fight the Nazis in their own country. I believe it is more of the mental conditioning. They've not backed off the language of how Trump's a Nazi. Trump's not ever going to leave. These MAGA people are, you know, danger to democracy and blah, blah, blah. I think it's just more of the mental conditioning to prepare people for the insurrection that they would really like to do, to abolish, because they do want to replace what we've got. They don't want the Constitution anymore. They want a socialist country, and that's how you're going to get it.
It does feel like, and I'm trying to desperately give these knuckleheads that were out on a nice little Saturday the benefit of the doubt and try to figure out what their gripe is. But it really sounds like the more they scream about their belief in democracy, it sounds like they don't believe in democracy very much when democracy doesn't go their way.
Yeah, well, you know, they were okay with an auto pen, you know, an authoritative auto pen running the country. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a mental disorder. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Well, I think you're right on that. I mean, Derek, good call. Thank you for making it. I mean, am I missing something? We believe in democracy. We believe that every vote should count. Well, that's what we did last November. Are you suggesting that didn't count? Are you suggesting that was wrongly decided? Are you suggesting that it was rigged? Or what? I'm just trying to understand. I just want to understand where your argument is. We don't want an authoritarian. Well, that's what the courts are for, right? The courts are there. And, oh, by the way, it's not as if the political left has not gone to court. I think they have filed. I saw the figure this weekend that there have been like 145 injunctions against Donald Trump actions since he became president of the United States in his second term? Like 145 of them. By comparison, I think Biden got away in 4 years with 12, if it's even 12. I'll need to look these facts up because I want to get them right. But it's not even close. I mean, the proper remedy is to go to court and to challenge the court to define what presidential authority is and what it is not. And I have so many great ideas, and my throat's not letting me express them. 51 after the hour, 615-737-9986. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I wonder if Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley do throats. I don't think they do. I don't think they do a spinal decompression on throats, but if they did, I would go over there to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and the Wellness Institute of Nashville has my seal of approval. The Big Daddy Trump special is still in effect. For $12, you can get a comprehensive examination, x-rays if needed, and a well-explained diagnosis and your first treatment. Yes, $12. You heard me correctly. That's an incredible opportunity. But why are they doing this? Because they're not making money on this. They're doing it because they want to get you in to show you exactly what spinal decompression has to offer you and to show you that you can alleviate your pain in a natural way that doesn't involve pills, doesn't involve spinal injection, and doesn't consider surgery until it's a last resort, a last option. If you have back pain, neck pain, hip pain, elbow pain, sciatica, anything where it hurts, they can assist you at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Start a pain-free life today by going to painisbad.com, painisbad.com, or 615-246-5009, 246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
Lebanon police SWAT team busy with a barricaded suspect. We'll tell you how that's shaping up coming up at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Matt Murphy at 2:40. Man, I'm feeling a lot better today. This is great. We're going to have a great show. Matt Murphy at 3:58. I don't think I'm going to ever stop coughing.
You're on the downhill side of it, Brother Murphy.
Thank you there, Ken Weaver. I feel like that. I
Do
feel
you mean
like I'm...
lifespan or the sickness?
Hey, Ken,
Yes,
we've
sir.
had our first generational moment in the Matt Murphy movie Mayhem segment.
Oh, yes?
First generational moment.
Oh, let's see.
You know
I
what?
did not like The Shining. I'm
So,
just,
Really?
my boy does not. I felt this was coming. Didn't I tell you last
you
week?
told
I
me.
was like,
You told me when you gave it to me. You were like, you probably
you
won't
might
like
not
this.
like
movie.
this because it is a differently paced.
It is
movie.
so slow.
It is slow at the beginning.
The
It's
end
a slow
is great.
build.
The end is fun,
By the time he's axing the
but I was almost asleep by the time because I watched it at night.
Wendy, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right in the bleep in.
Jack Nicholson's great, but I couldn't get into it.
A little hair of the dog that bit me, Lloyd.
That's a great line. Oh, that scene. It is one of my all-time top 10 scenes in movies, Jackson. The scene with him and Grady when Grady spills the drinks on him and he has to take him to the bathroom. And they're just, I mean, the tension in that scene.
I'm sorry, sir.
You're the caretaker here.
Yeah, it
You've-
changes.
Always been the caretaker here.
If
You
I
know-
may be so bold.
Oh, he says, you chopped your children up in little bits. Right. And then you killed yourself. He tells the guy he killed himself.
Jack Nicholson, man.
So good.
He nailed it.
So good. So good.
I read, so I did some reading and some research, just trying to figure out why I didn't like this one.
Yes, sir.
And apparently, Stephen King agrees with me.
Well,
And it's because Jack Nicholson started kind of off before going full.
yeah, we can get into that. We'll do it in the 6 o'clock hour when we
Yes.
give our full-throated Murphy Movie Mayhem reviews. That's coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Coming up in the next hour, Shutdown Day 20. Plus, your thought. I mean, if you've got any help for me on the No Kings rallies, give me a call, 615-737-9986.
A little hair of the dog that bit me, Lloyd. Four o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We have got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now, we continue to monitor the situation in Lebanon, where a suspect has barricaded himself inside a home, triggering a police response. In fact, the Lebanon police SWAT team out there. This is Crosswinds Condominiums just off Leeville Pike, going to be just west of 231. Some nearby schools under a soft lockdown as a precaution. Police say this suspect has 3 warrants out of Davidson County. 2 are for aggravated kidnapping. 1 is for aggravated burglary. Police working to resolve this situation peacefully. Right now in Nashville, police are looking for the person who shot and killed a teenager at a Bellevue apartment complex. Here's Channel 4's Dryden Quigley.
Here at the Forest Park Apartments, there have been 2 homicides, and that's just in the past week. According to the Metro Police data dashboard, over the last 3 years, there have been more than 50 incidents here.
Channel 4 says crime maps show in less than 3 years there have been 37 assaults, 12 larcenies, 6 auto thefts, 6 burglaries, including bullets flying into an apartment from a neighboring apartment. Then last year, a 37-year-old man was shot dead in front of his unit. Since that shooting, Forest Park Apartments have put in new security cameras and lighting. Police in Atlanta say they thwarted what could have been a mass shooting at one of the country's busiest airports. Authorities say Billy Cagle of nearby Cartersville drove to the south terminal of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to assess crowd levels. But police were alerted to his activities by family members and arrested him at the airport. In his pickup truck, they say they found an assault rifle. Here's Chief Darren Shirebaum.
We found inside a Springfield AR-15 assault rifle, a 5.56 St. Victor model with 27 rounds of ammunition.
Yeah, Cagle reportedly told family members via a FaceTime call that he was going to, quote, shoot up the airport. His family immediately alerted authorities. Right now in our nation's capital, President Trump holding firm to a November 1st deadline for a new round of tariffs on Chinese imports.
China's paying 55% and a potential 155% come November 1st unless we make a deal. And I'm meeting with President Xi. We have a very good relationship. We're going to be meeting in South Korea in a couple of weeks.
Trump says a dispute with China's production of rare earth minerals is behind the new tariff threat. And today he signed a deal with Australia in an effort to secure more from another country. Here's Karen Travers.
He is certainly looking at the U.S.-Australia relationship as a counter to China, and he is looking to get the United States away from relying on China for those rare earth minerals, which are so critical for electronics, for semiconductors. And he talked there at length about the trade tensions right now with China, saying that the Chinese are using those rare earths against the United States, but he can use tariffs in reverse.
Yeah, China currently dominates the rare earth minerals market, controls 90% of the production. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Berry Hill, police reporting a crash, 440 westbound, just past 65. I'm seeing the usual bumper-to-bumper traffic building eastbound East Loop downtown before you get to the downtown split. Northbound 65, you're coming to complete stops up to the South Loop. Same going eastbound 440 over to 24. I'm Ken Weaver.
Little bit of a liberal freakout going on right now at 4:07 this Monday afternoon. I'll tell you why coming up in just a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is hour number 2 of the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Thank you for being with us. Whatever time you're able to give, we're certainly appreciative of it. We have 4 full hours, 240 full minutes every single Monday through Friday, and I appreciate you spending as many of those with us as you possibly can. And wherever you might be listening, give us the old thumbs up and like. You know, I look over there on the YouTube chat, and I got like 100 and some odd people watching right now, and only 31 have given us the old thumbs up. Apparently, y'all don't like Ken Weaver very much. Apparently, you don't. Because
Or puppies.
Or puppies. Because, or
Timu Ken Weaver.
Timu, am I Tim? Is that me? Oh, that's you. You're Timu Ken Weaver?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. My bad. How much you charging? Must not be much.
No, not much.
Yeah, because Ken Weaver says that you should like and subscribe, and it costs how much?
Absolutely nothing, boys.
And then Timu Ken Weaver says,
Nothing.
yes.
Zilch.
Nada.
Not a halfpenny.
More on that coming up, I think. I don't know. I'm losing my mind because I can't say 3 words without coughing, and I apologize. I got a cough today. I don't know what to do with it except just to plow through. Feel great. Feel better.
Call in with a remedy.
Don't tell me throat coat.
You just need a little hot tea and honey.
Okay, hot tea and honey. I'll take that. I wouldn't accept slippery elm throat coat. If you
What's
gave
that?
it to Dan Mandis uses it in the mornings. He's addicted to it. He drinks like 28 cups a day.
Does it have caffeine?
I don't think so. I don't
Is
think it
it
does.
tea?
Yeah, it's like it's slippery elm, Jackson.
What's that?
I don't really understand it. And any other day we would have he leaves boxes of it in here. Any other day we would have a box of it in here, and I could read it to you. But I think it's like I think it's like a form of tea, but it's slippery elm is what it's called. Slippery elm throat coat, which is Dan Mandis's beverage of choice in the mornings.
Tea.
Is it a tea?
Yes. I have it in front of me. Oh, this is what he leaves. Okay, yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, and he drinks on that, and he swears by it.
I think it might be good for you.
You think so?
I think you should try it.
Maybe get Mandis on the horn there. He's not doing enough. You know, he just had Red Eye Radio overnight from midnight until 5, and then he did his morning show from 5 until 9. And
then we had that 12-hour meeting.
And then we had a 12-hour meeting throughout the course of the day, so Mandis isn't doing anything else.
He's definitely asleep.
By the way, considering that he's asleep, y'all do me a favor, and tomorrow morning when Dan gets on the air, ask him about falling asleep in the Home Depot parking lot.
What?
He fell asleep in the Home Depot parking lot. And I think it was on purpose. And he woke up, and I think some amigos were messing around. I'm just reporting the news, fellas, as Ken Weaver would say.
I just report the news, boys.
So ask him about falling asleep in the Home Depot parking lot, which apparently was a thing earlier today. Okay, also a thing earlier today, and I want to tell you about it before we get back to your telephone calls, busy phone lines. On the look, if y'all can explain the No Kings deal to me, please do. I wish you would. I'm curious what you're asking for. If you are asking for a check on Donald Trump's abilities as the chief executive, as the head of the executive branch, as the president of the United States of America, okay. I'm ready to have that discussion because I agree with you. There are some things that Donald Trump is pushing the envelope in terms of its executive authority. I agree with you. But in some areas, I think that envelope needs to be pushed a little bit. And if Congress wants to clap back, they have the ability to do that. And if the judicial branch, an equal and separate branch of government from the executive branch, wants to tell Donald Trump that anything that he is doing is extracurricular to the Constitution of the United States, I'm willing to listen to that too. But that has a process as well. And what you can't do is some little district judge in some faraway part of the country cannot unilaterally declare that all of the country has to abide by a ruling when he only really has authority in his own particular district. That's one thing. These little judges in these smaller areas of the world, these leftist enclaves, declaring that their injunction applies to the entire nation is garbage. Bunk. But that has a process that moves its way up to the United States Supreme Court, and ultimately the United States Supreme Court decides what is and is not constitutional in terms of the executive branch and what the founding document has to say about it. Toward that end, a 3-judge panel in the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals heard a case last week, and the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals today ruled, wait for it now, liberals are going to lose their minds, that President Donald Trump can, in fact, deploy the Oregon National Guard into the city of Portland, delivering a significant victory to the Trump administration as it continues its effort to send federal forces to, at very least, defend federal property, where state and local authorities have chosen not to. The judges on the 3-member panel ruled 2-1 to authorize Trump's deployment. After considering the record at this preliminary stage, we conclude that it is likely that the president lawfully, underline lawfully, exercised his statutory authority under 10 U.S. Code 12406 or 4006, Paragraph 3, which authorizes the federalization of the National Guard when the president is unable with the regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. If you want to understand this, and if you've not been following along, the president authorized the National Guard, federalized the Oregon National Guard, giving them the ability to protect federal installations. Now, they are not patrolling the streets against the judgment of the Oregon governor, although maybe they should be in Portland. They are protecting federal installations. Literally, they are standing guard at federal facilities that have been under attack by Antifa-type organizations for many, many months. Frankly, many, many years. So you understand that's what they're doing. They're literally protecting those installations and acting upon lawbreakers who are attempting to do something to those installations. That's all. Their very presence in the city of Portland has caused a disturbance. Why? Well, it beats the hell out of me. Well, the move has become something of a political flashpoint. Protesters opposing key policies have clashed with law enforcement. Oregon officials and civil liberties groups say the administration is exaggerating the threat. The Trump administration says we're just trying to protect federal installations and federal property. After a federal judge in Oregon temporarily blocked Trump's attempt to deploy troops in Portland earlier this month. And think about this for a minute. They had this stupid No Kings rally. If Donald Trump really thought he was a king, why wouldn't he tell the troops to go ahead and deploy, even though a judge temporarily blocked him? Instead, they didn't do that. What did they do? They abided by the Constitution, and they used the appropriate remedy by which they appealed to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and they just won in their appeal. The appeal court quickly stayed the lower court's order pending review. The ruling comes as Trump had sought to deploy hundreds of National Guard troops in Democrat-led cities. Despite opposition from local and state leaders, senior administration officials argue the deployment is necessary to crack down on what they say is an uptick in violent crime, and it is an uptick in violent crime, particularly on federal installations and federal property. In the meantime, Glenn has a thought on No Kings. Hello, Glenn. How are you? Hey, Glenn.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
I'm doing well, Glenn. I hope you are.
I'm doing well. I just want to speak on a broader point. You had spoke earlier how, No Kings was not a grassroots movement. And I went to it. I'm in Nashville. I got up and I thought I was going to go. My friends was like, man, there's going to be some crazy stuff recorded. Now I went with that intention. Well, I got my own qualms with King Trump, but there wasn't no crazy stuff going on. And I think the grassroots movement is the left and the right. There's some things that they are starting to agree upon that's going to destroy everything. And for one, that needs to be keep Israel out of our government, keep pedophiles out of Washington, and keep Judaism out of Christianity. And those three things right there
are about to turn everything around. And those three things right there is something the left and the right can both agree on. And I think that's what you're seeing because there was more people. It shocked me the amount of people that was there. Wasn't nobody running down the road, the crossing guards. Everyone was following, and it was a lot of older white people. I'm an older white person, and I think it shouldn't. I mean, instead of I know it's not a good look for the Trump camp, but I think for humanity, the Trump camp, the left camp, the right camp. That has to come. That's it. It's got to stop. And I think anybody that supports AIPAC is going to be not voted for in the next election.
What is AIPAC?
It's a corrupt lobbying group for Israel that's not even reports to the FA Safara, and they buy every politician. They bought your boy Jody Barrett already. He's already been called by AIPAC before even anything got done. I think people that you know what it is. I think the people that don't know, for me to like.
I know but I know very well what it is. I just wanted to know what you thought it was.
I can tell you what they say they are, and I can tell you what they really are. But that would get me
because you know better than them. Don't
than
you?
Who?
AIPAC, the organization.
Do I know better than them?
Well, you said I can tell you what they say they are, and I can tell you what they really are because you know better.
I can tell you what the government and what the media portrays AIPAC to be, and I can tell you what they actually do. Yes, absolutely right.
Tell me what they really are, Glenn.
They really are a super Zionist Jewish group who cares nothing except the interests of Jews, and that's the case. And any government,
they're the most powerful organization in America.
They're the most powerful organization in the world. The Jews are. The Jewish Zionist Israel are.
Well, okay. And how long has just a few quick questions. I'm not. How long have they been around? AIPAC.
I mean, I don't know. Miriam Adelson. A few years since the early 70s, 60s. I don't know. Maybe since 48. I don't know.
So work with me here, Glenn. So if I agree with you,
now,
so
if I get something wrong, you're waiting on me to slip up. So you can to the cross.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I just want to talk to you.
I can ask you one question. One question, but I'll finish.
I just want to. Well, hold on a second. So you can ask me anything you want. So AIPAC has been around since the 1960s or 70s. You said.
Okay.
I'm just working off your language. And they are the most, and the Jews are the most powerful people in the world, and AIPAC is the most powerful entity in American politics. Do I have it right?
100%. It's the most truest thing you've said all day.
Then why haven't they accomplished their stated goals before now?
What do you think their stated goals are?
No. What do you think their stated goals are?
Okay, well, Larry Ellison just bought TikTok. Every media group is controlled by a Zionist Jew.
Am I controlled by a Zionist Jew?
Absolutely.
I am.
Vanguard owns your radio station.
So then that means no, they don't. By the way, they have like they have like a 1% ownership stake in Cumulus, which is worthless. The stock is worthless. What are you talking about?
Do you think Islam is more dangerous than Judaism?
Yes, I do.
In what way?
Their stated religious purpose is to subjugate or kill the infidel.
Who's the infidel?
You are the infidel, Glenn.
No.
Are you a Muslim? Are you a Muslim?
No, but I'm smart.
Then you are an infidel.
And I know how. No,
I'm just answering.
You know what you are. You know what you are.
I'm just answering, Glenn. Glenn. I'm just answering your question. See, you don't say.
Right. Well, I was going to help you.
If I don't answer your question in the proper fashion, that does not mean that you are right and I'm wrong necessarily. It means that I'm giving you an answer that you don't appreciate, but I'm giving you the answer that I'm giving you.
I understand.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. If the Jews control this radio station, why are you on the air right now?
Why is the sky blue?
Glenn, just think about the question with the brain. Just think about the question with the brain that God gave you, and tell me, why would you be on the air saying what you're saying if the Jews controlled this radio station? Answer the specific question, Glenn.
Because I can do what I want.
No, you're saying the Jews don't allow it. Then why are you here talking?
You're being so irrational.
No, I'm not,
Is that what
man.
you're gonna-
No, I'm being to the point.
Go so extreme, man.
But no, I'm being to the Glenn. Why are you being allowed? If the Jews you said the Jews control this radio station, didn't you?
I said no. They
did
own
you or
your
did
radio
you not?
Station.
Did you?
They
No,
own
you
your
said,
radio
no.
station.
I said, did the Jews control us? Yes. I said, what? You said Vanguard. No, you said it. I'll play the tape back, Chief.
You got me, Matt.
No, I know I have you because you're full of crap.
Wow. What have I said that's not true?
That the Jews control me.
They control your radio station. They own your radio station.
No, then why are you here? Why are you speaking right now if that's true?
Because I want the listeners. Thought about this where you called. Because there's people that's listening that need to get a little objectivity and a little truth. Thank God Chad Benson is still lingering around there, because Trump could do anything, and you're not going to say nothing bad about it. Let's be men about it and be real about it. I'm cool with getting the immigrants out, but let's get the pedophiles out. I'm cool with saying Islam is bad, but let's look up the definition of Judaism, brother. I'm cool with the law. I'm not your enemy. So that's why I called, because people need to hear that.
They need to hear that. Hold on, Glenn. I'm not hanging up on you. You hanging up on me?
I'm here. Not yet.
So they need to hear what? What do people need to hear? I want to make sure that you understand that your very presence saying what you're saying is a denial of your principled point. The very presence on your... You're not making any sense.
No Kings rally. There was good people there.
Okay,
all
good.
Day y'all talk about it was a line of violence. And
whoa, who?
And then
Me?
he started off with Hamas.
Chief, Glenn, when have I said that it was a violent thing? When? Tell me when. What did I say that
all day? I've heard your radio
station.
No,
buddy, you're talking to Matt Murphy, MATTMURPHY. I don't have a damn mouse in my pocket, Chief. I speak for me. Me alone. I don't speak for Chad Benson. I don't speak for Chris Hand. I don't speak for anybody else on this radio station.
So the tone of your station here lately is not the left. It's very, very violent.
No, I don't meet with any other host of this radio station to compare notes about how we present our.
The left is really violent.
The violence on the left has ticked up considerably since Donald Trump came into political power.
I'm on the right, bro. I'm on the right. I'm a conservative. And these people that's in Portland and stuff, these are gay people and trannies just running around with rainbow flags.
Wait, so you don't believe? You don't believe that it's leftist violence. That anytime we present leftist violence, you tell me that it's the Jews, right? So if I told you, who killed Charlie Kirk, Glenn?
I mean,
who killed Glenn? Answer the question. Who killed Charlie Kirk? Was it a crazy leftist?
Not Tyler Robinson.
See.
And when that comes out, will you give me a 30-minute segment on your show each week?
Hell no, Glenn. No, I'm not giving you anything.
Okay.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm not giving you anything.
All right, I got you, brother. Israel killed him, bro. Give me a hang up. Tell me I'm stupid. But yeah.
Glenn, I'm not hanging up. Glenn, I'm not hanging up. I'm not hanging up on you. I'm not hanging up on you. I'm letting you hang yourself.
I get it. But yeah, no, I appreciate the time, and I just hope I hope people listen, and I hope just go look it up. Just go get off Fox News and Newsmax.
Tell me one
look
thing.
Up Judaism.
Just tell me one thing, Glenn. Tell me one thing.
Yes, sir.
Tell me one Jewish friend that you have.
Jesus Christ.
Good answer. 26 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about Eurofix. Eurofix asks you a few questions. Lou Holtz actually asked these questions to begin with. And now Aaron Stokes wants to ask you a version of these questions. Before people spend money, they ask 3 questions. Can I trust you? Are you committed to excellence? And do you care about me? And friends, at Eurofix, the answer to those questions are 3 resounding yes, yes, yes. Right? Back in 1999, owner Aaron Stokes was by himself in a one-car garage in downtown Franklin. A few months later, he moved into a shop in a barn behind his house so he could stay close to his family. Now, he has 5 separate locations to serve you. Fast forward to today, the barn's long gone. Eurofix is thriving in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet, with more to come. All work performed comes with a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty, plus a rental car available at every appointment. Go ahead. Ask yourself, do you trust? Do you care? Are they committed to excellence? The answer to those questions, yes, yes, yes. MyEurofix.com. That's MyEurofix.com. Call or book today. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for my buddies at the Glock Store. Man, they're worth the trip from anywhere within the sound of my voice. They are centrally located on Airlane Drive, just off of Elm Hill Pike. I like to say Elm Hill Pike is just off of Briley Parkway. And Briley Parkway, well, that's convenient to anywhere, right? When you walk into the Glock Store retail side of things, you'll see the beautiful showroom. They have so many different accessories. They have every part for a Glock, every Glock in stock. I mean, so you can find the Glock that's right for you. I mean, after all, the name is the Glock Store, right? So you'll find the Glock that's right for you. You will find that they have every part, every performance part imaginable. They make most of them right there on site. And then the incredible shooting rooms, never lanes, but rooms at the Glock Store. The Shoot 270 line of rooms, I mean, that is a different way to train, and I love, love, love what they do with their shooting rooms, because you have a personal trainer there, so you're not on your own. Secondarily, you can talk to that trainer and you can train at your own pace. Go to shoot270.com or glockstore.com, and when you stop by, tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Glock Store.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got the full forecast and traffic updates coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Middle Tennessee, Lebanon police responded to a barricaded suspect inside a home this afternoon. Nearby schools were on soft lockdown, but officials say there's no danger to the public. That area was where officers were working to bring that situation to a peaceful end. They say they've got it under control. Rutherford County property owners may see tax changes after the Tennessee Comptroller found 1 in 4 property assessments were wrong. Mistakes included missing buildings, incorrect square footage, and misclassified properties.
We found that even the attempted corrections were riddled with errors. When you don't have assessments done in a fair and equitable manner, property-owning taxpayers lose confidence in the taxes they are paying.
So officials are now considering a full reassessment and calling for accountability from the Rutherford County property assessor. The comptroller recommending hiring an independent firm to reassess all 130,156 parcels. Estimated costs more than $3 million. President Trump says Democrats are going to have to end the shutdown by going along eventually with the Republican spending bill in the Senate. The measure simply funds the government for a few more months, but Democrats say they're holding firm on their health care demands. Speaking at an event today at the White House, the president said Republicans got everything they want for the next 4 years in that big, beautiful bill, which some Democrats went along with.
All we want to do is have a vote of continuation. And it's the first time in history that a group has not voted for continuation. So they have what's called a Trump derangement problem.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Over here on the West Loop, we've got a crash reported by police 40 eastbound right before 65. Then in Jolton, a crash 24 westbound before Whites Creek Pike exit 35. Arrington in Williamson County, people on the roadway. Somebody is walking in the median around mile marker 44 there, 840 eastbound past Horton Highway, exit 42. Be careful out there, drivers. I'm Ken Weaver.
Friends, Alpha and Omega is a wonderful local company that I love telling you about, mainly because I think a lot of small business owners perhaps don't think about this. If you own a small business and you spend any percentage of your time worrying about your computer, worrying about your email, worrying about your internal system, or worried about exterior threats from cybersecurity issues or ransomware attacks, then might I suggest humbly that you're doing it wrong. You need to get Alpha and Omega on your team and allow their computer consultation team to take over all aspects of your IT so you can focus on your business and making money and growing your business. You should not worry about emails. You should not worry about printers. You should not worry about anything of an IT perspective. When you've got Alpha and Omega on your team, you will not. You'll also get a real person on the phone with a locally owned MSP right here in Middle Tennessee. In other words, they don't farm anything out to other states and certainly don't farm anything out to other countries. And if you're a business owner, know this: 14 successful ransomware attacks happen every day. That's successful ransomware attacks. You just don't hear about them because they happen to small and medium-sized businesses. Alpha and Omega can prevent you being the next. Go to Alpha and Omega's website at ANO.net. That's ANO.net, or call 615-784-0096, 784-0096 for Alpha and Omega. Hey, folks, it's Matt Murphy for Genesis Diamonds. Your chance to get the rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds. Now, this Friday and Saturday, normally I talk to the fellas and encourage them to get over to Genesis Diamonds to look at some of these beautiful sparkly rings and pendants and earrings and whatnot that they have at Genesis, and they do in Green Hills and Cool Springs. But I want to talk to the women. Because they're hosting Genesis is an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event. If your guy has hinted around at wanting to own a Rolex at some point in his life and you felt like it was just out of budget, you need to get over to Genesis Diamonds this weekend. Stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Submariners, Daytonas, Sky Dwellers, Pepsis, Batmans, men's and ladies. At this event, you can get even never-worn fresh models that people wait years for. And during the event, you can take advantage of special pricing plus 60 months zero-interest financing. So you can get the home run holiday gift out of the way right now this weekend, this Friday, this Saturday at Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. See store for details at genesisdiamonds.com. Green Hills and Cool Springs, while supplies last. Tell them I sent you to Genesis. All right, we'll get to your calls momentarily. A little bit of a reaction to our good friend Glenn calling up and explaining to us that who controls us, and that's all well and good. 38 minutes after the hour, we'll suspend that conversation and talk about happier things, like an event that I was proud to be a part of last evening, and we invited kind of the father of the feast to be in studio with us to talk about some of the discussion that we had last evening and to talk about what we have going on in 2026 right here in the state of Tennessee with regard to the General Assembly. He is our good friend, Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson. He joins us in studio. Jack, hello.
Long time no see.
I know. What a great event last night. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
Well, thank you for being a part of it. We were thrilled. We had a massive crowd, broke all records. I've been doing this event for a while, and it's hard to know. People say, how many people did you have? And it's hard to count because you sell a certain number of tickets, and some people come at the door, and then, of course, you've comped some folks. But it was a massive crowd, and I'm very grateful that you were there to be our master of ceremonies.
Well, it was good to see all of the assembled folks. I mean, a lot of political figures in the same room. How in the world can you herd all of that all those cats, Jack? I mean,
it is a bit of a scheduling that we start working on this probably 6 months ago, and kind of reach out to some folks. Hey, would you be willing to come and be a part of this year's event? And they say, yeah, I would love to do it. Well, then you got to start the scheduling thing, and you got to book the room. But we had Senator Marsha Blackburn, Senator Bill Hagerty, Robbie Starbuck, who is a great friend, Congressman Tim Burchett, who has really become a bit of a national figure there. I was amused and happily amused at how many people were like, oh, I got to meet Tim Burchett. I got to get a selfie with Tim Burchett. He's like the selfie king on social media.
He goes into the Lion's Den on CNN a lot, and I absolutely love it. I love watching.
I love what he said on the stage last night. He said, he said he was talking to President Trump, and Trump said, Tim, I like it every time you go on CNN. Every time you're on there, someone gets fired.
I love it. Well, and a lot of state and local officials coming out, and not only to obviously support you, but it seemed to be somewhat of a celebratory mood, I think, for the state of Tennessee, certainly, but for the United States of America. I think the mood, and I tried to contrast the mood between the Saturday No Kings rally
right.
and the mood in the room last evening. I don't know, because I could not make last year's event. I don't know if there was, if there was trepidation, if it was, kind of uneasiness about the direction of the country, but there was a good feeling in the room last night.
I had several people say there was a lot of positive energy in the room, and I think that was the case. We had the gentleman I hope is our next congressman, would be my next congressman, Matt Van Epps, the Republican nominee for the 7th District. He was there, did a great job. And yeah, it was hopeful. It was optimistic, and got to talk a lot about some of the significant successes Tennessee has had in recent years and kind of where we stand as a state and really a conservative leader in the nation, I believe. And then hearing from Senator Blackburn, Senator Hagerty, Congressman Burchett about, some of the great things going on in Washington. And there's some tough battles going on up there. But I think with President Trump in office, we all have a great spirit of optimism.
Well, I mean, and certainly here in the state of Tennessee, I guess you would say some work to be done. And Donald Trump is assisting us in that regard. And I'm curious your thoughts. I asked several of the people in that room last night their thoughts on what's going on in Memphis. as Senate Majority Leader, you might have a little bit of say in this in terms of some of the particulars about what the state allows the state to do in some of these local communities. I'm sure you're supportive of what we see happening.
Oh, absolutely, and I believe you've had Senator Brent Taylor on. So Senator Taylor is a great friend. He's my colleague. He represents Shelby County. He is the only full Republican Senate seat in Shelby County. There's 3 full Democratic seats. There are seats that are held by Democrats. But Senator Taylor has become a real voice for change in Shelby County and really drawing a lot of attention to the crime issue down there. He has a phrase, "Make Memphis Matter." And he always clarifies that's MATTER, not MADDER. So he's done a lot of really, really important work there, working with the administration to get additional troopers, TBI, and then obviously now with President Trump and the National Guard. But I was actually at an event in Memphis with Senator Blackburn in her gubernatorial campaign a few nights ago, and I kind of had the same conversation with a lot of people, and there's overwhelming spirit of optimism. People are feeling safe about going downtown, going to restaurants and some things. And how sad it is that there are folks that live in Memphis, which is a once great city, could be a great city again. And I think we're heading in that direction, but there's people afraid to leave their home at night.
I know I'm guilty over the last 4 years that I've been in Tennessee of telling Tennessee people what they already know, but I find these things out in real time, right? And you look at the history of Memphis and Nashville, and as you well know, Jack, there was a time where there was a real question as to which would be the leader of the state. Now, obviously, Nashville has the state capital and enjoys that aspect of state government, but I mean, Memphis, the bones are so great, and I'm not to say that there aren't great aspects of Memphis today. There certainly are, but the possibility of rebuilding that, and as Senator Taylor says, make Memphis matter. It all starts with crime and education.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
And I noticed that Senator Blackburn, in her effort to become the next governor of the state, says that she wants to focus on those areas of education. The Senate and the House have already done a little bit of their part in terms of the scholarship fund that you guys saw through last year. This year, it's my understanding, and I talked to your colleague in the House, Cameron Sexton, already says that the plan is to expand it. Are you in favor of this? And I mean, do you concur with him on that?
I am. We had in the first 24 hours that applications could be submitted. We had 38,000 applications. We created 20,000 scholarships. So the demand is clearly there. The legislation we passed has an automatic trigger in it that if 75% of the scholarships are utilized, then we increase it by 5,000. Well, we hit 100,000, or rather 100%. I'm having trouble with my numbers today. We hit the full 20,000, 100% of the scholarships got utilized. So that 5,000 increase will automatically trigger. Some conversations of, and by the way, that's subject to appropriation. The General Assembly has to agree to pay for those. But there's some conversation about possibly doing more, and but clearly the demand is there, and we need to be getting kids into schools that are best suited for their needs.
And nothing else has to happen except for the appropriation, if I understand
correct. For the
correctly.
5,000 increase. Right.
Okay, sure. So and would you foresee that 5,000 is a cap? So you can only go up by 5,000?
Well, it just is 5,000. So if you hit 75% utilization, then it increases by 5,000, and then the General Assembly has to decide to pay for that. Certainly, the General Assembly could decide to do none, not pay for any, or we could agree to fund more and increase it by a larger amount. So.
What else? I mean, I would expect here. I was surprised. I looked down at my notes, and it's already October 20th. I mean, time is just flying. The fall's flying by. And I would expect that in leadership in the Senate and the House, you're already kind of planning the next General Assembly. Would I be correct in the assumption?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's we pretty much start working on the next one as soon as we finish the one we're in. And even though we're only in session for about three and a half months out of the year, there's obviously a lot of work that goes into leading up to the next session.
In an election season, does that alter the calendar for the General Assembly at all, or do you just
not automatically? There might be a bit more of a spirit of let's get in, let's get done. So we can get home. But we need to be there as long as it takes to get the people's work done, and that's typically around the end of April, early May, regardless of whether it's an election year or not.
What is on your plate for this next General Assembly?
Biggest thing I'm concerned about, but also optimistic about. It gets back to what's happening in Washington. This president, with a Congress that is hopefully aligned with him is trying to shrink the federal government. And it is a very 30,000 feet. But just take the U.S. Department of Education and President Trump's efforts to abolish that. And I believe Senator Blackburn said that she believes that will be done by the end of the year, which is wonderful. The federal government should not have a Department of Education. So that's one example. I could give you others, particularly in healthcare relative to Medicaid, where they are trying to get power and influence back to the states, which is where it belongs. That's where the framers wanted it to be. I think most of your listeners would probably agree with that. The federal government is far too big, expansive, much more so than the framers wanted it to be. But that's going to create responsibility for us to figure out, and whether it's a loss of funding because the federal government shouldn't be funding and we have to make decisions about whether we want to backfill that with state dollars, or if it's just a redirection of that funding. So the big, beautiful bill, we're still kind of going through some of the implications of that, but there's going to be some things that affect the state. And I know Governor Lee and his team are looking hard into that. And I think most of it is going to be very positive, but there may be some pain points there as well, some tough decisions for us to make, and that's our job.
Have you been paying attention? I know that you noticed the situation that went over at the munitions plant, the horrible explosion. 16 people have passed, and there are now some questions about some of the past issues that happened at that plant. And look, you and I are both small government guys, right? I mean, you don't want government to intervene in the free market unless necessary, but when something like that occurs, I mean, obviously the first reaction is to think about the family members, think about those impacted, those affected, and those who passed away. But then at some point, someone in your position has to say, okay, we need to get all of this information. I mean, are we still in the information gathering stage to try to figure out what exactly happened there? And are there more things that need to be in place to prevent future situations?
Yeah. So the answer to the first question is yes. I think we're still in the phase where law enforcement, the FBI, TBI, ATF, whoever's involved in investigating that, right, and collecting the evidence so we can find out what happened. And we owe that to the families. I think the families and those who lost their lives, we need answers. We need to know what transpired here and what went wrong, because clearly something went catastrophically wrong. So once we get that information, then yes, there are regulatory aspects for that. Well, a lot of different business activity, but yeah, that's anytime you have something that horrific and tragic, I think you should stop and take a look. And once we know what happened, we'll be in a better position to determine if the changes need to be made.
You know, I made the comment last night when in my opening remarks at your great event, and I always screw it up. Let me see if I can get it right. Boots and Jeans Barbecue and Beans?
You're the man.
I think I nailed it. 19th annual. So I made the point that, you know, I know that people don't like hearing from people who haven't been around Tennessee very long, but I like to remind them of how wonderful they have it.
You've been here 4 years. You've been here a long time compared to a lot of the folks.
Well, I mean, I like to say I've been here 4 years, so give me about another 10 or 11 years, and I'll be considered a Tennessee guy. But, you know, we got it pretty good in the state of Tennessee, but that doesn't always mean that we can't make it better. And I've heard some folks talking, particularly in Davidson County, about property taxes, especially since the recent, you know, reassessment, readjustment, and then rate increase. Yes. And that's what happens.
That's
and people
That's right.
On the state level, and I want you to explain, because, you know, folks just see the amount of money go up and they think, oh, my goodness, look at what they've done to us. But the state requires, what was it called, zero base or leveling?
Yeah. Leveling is a good way to think about it. It's called the certified tax rate. I think I have the terminology right, and that is state law. So a local jurisdiction can and the property assessor can go in and do a reappraisal and say, okay, your house went up $100,000 in value or whatever, but then that jurisdiction has to lower the rate so that the net amount that you're paying is the same. Mm-hmm. So your rate goes down, but the price value of your house on the assessment rolls went up, but you're still paying the same amount of property tax. And it takes an affirmative vote of that governing body to raise the rate, and the rate might even still be lower than it was before, but you're paying more because the rate is being assessed to a higher value home.
And so then the Davidson County folks asked the question, is there anything, I mean, and I understand local rule, and if the answer is just one that disappoints them, it is what it is, but is there anything more the state can do to help assist those in Davidson County that feel like that they've been. I mean, there's no better way of putting it, that they've been screwed here.
Yeah.
And they're having to make very difficult decisions. I mean, a mutual good friend, Pamela Furr, lives in Davidson County, has decided to put her home on the market because of the amount of money that's coming out of her pocket for things like property taxes.
Yeah, so absolutely the state does have the authority. And in fact, Tennessee is one of a few states, we're in the minority of states, that does not have some type of guardrails in terms of how much property taxes can be raised in a given year. And we've had that conversation. I think we're going to continue to, and I think it will be something we look at in the coming jurisdiction. You hit the nail on the head, though. I mean, the people deciding to raise those taxes are the council members who were elected by the residents of that county. So you're the ones electing these people, and then they vote to raise your property taxes. So I am keeping an open mind, and there are some of my colleagues that are pretty strong advocates that we need to look at some type of limitation on how much a jurisdiction can raise taxes in a given year, because we know under Mayor Cooper, it was 30 some odd % in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Even if they hadn't been raised in the last however many years, you can still amortize that or annualize that, and it's still almost double-digit increases, even if you broke it down year by year. And that's excessive. And at some point, we as the state do have the responsibility to set those guardrails for local governments, that even if the citizens of that community vote people in that raise taxes that much, at some point it becomes detrimental to the state, and that is our responsibility. So the answer is yes, it's going to be on our plate.
I want to spend the last 30 seconds or 1 minute that we have left, Jack, to congratulate you not only on a great event last night, but congratulations on your anniversary.
Yeah,
well,
how about that?
That was the lead.
Well, I said that from the stage, and it's a true story. When we started looking at dates and we kind of settled on one, and they said October 19th works for this person and this person, the room's available, blah, 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 blah. And so I went home and told my wife, I've got a great idea for our anniversary, honey. Let's get 800,000 of our closest friends and have a big party at the factory. She said, you said you'd barbecue on our anniversary, didn't you? That's when you're going to do your event. She busted me right away.
Well, at least he danced with it.
I did dance, and I had a special banner made. My wife is incredible. She is a very supportive. Now, next year's our 30th, and I'm probably going to pay for having an event on it next year, 30th. We're probably going to do something.
Probably want to work out something different.
Pretty special and probably pretty expensive, but she's worth every penny of it.
Well, thank you for being a friend of the show. Thank you for being a friend of Tennessee. And we value you in the state Senate more than we can say, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate
There's
you.
Senator Jack Johnson joining us for a few good moments. We'll get back to calls momentarily. It's 55 after the hour. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy for Dr. Brian McLaughlin and the Tennessee Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solutions Center. I was one of those guys that did not realize that I had sleep apnea because I don't snore that much, a little bit here and there, but it's not a significant issue when I sleep. Well, it was Dr. Stephen Poss, before he handed over the reins to Dr. Brian McLaughlin, told me, he said, Matt, you need to get a sleep test. Because what you're describing to me, the low energy that you have in the mornings, it sounds like you've got sleep apnea. I said, I don't snore that much, Doc. He said, do it. 20% of the people who have sleep apnea don't have significant snoring. And lo and behold, I was one of those folks. Had mild to moderate sleep apnea. I got an FDA-approved oral device. It was fit for my mouth. Specifically, they do a 3D scan of your mouth. It's in-network for my insurance, and it likely is in-network in your insurance plan as well. So you don't have to pay out of pocket for this, and it works. Friends, I sleep better. The jaw stays forward. The airways open all throughout the course of the night. You have a more energetic sleep and a more energetic morning as a result of that sleep. Go to TennesseeSleep.com. 2 locations, Murfreesboro and Brentwood. TennesseeSleep.com and schedule your appointment today. You'll be happy you did. It's Dr. Brian McLaughlin and the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Police in Atlanta say they thwarted what could have been a mass shooting at one of the country's busiest airports today. Authorities say Billy Cagle of nearby Cartersville drove to the south terminal of Hartsfield-Jackson to assess crowd levels. But police got a tip and arrested him at the airport, says Chief Darren Shirebaum.
Cartersville Police Department was alerted by the family of Mr. Cagle that he was streaming on social media, that he was headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up. And the family stated that he was in possession of an assault rifle.
Now, Chief Shirebaum says they found an assault rifle in his pickup. President Trump just weighed in on the ongoing government shutdown now in day 20.
I think they're going to have no choice but to go along because the country is setting records in every way, and people want it to continue that way. So we're hoping the Democrats become much less deranged and that we will get the vote pretty soon. And I hear they're starting to feel that way, too.
Senate scheduled to vote again today. U.S.-Australia rare earth minerals deal President Trump signed today is a direct challenge to China's dominance in the global supply chain. He holds firm to a November 1st deadline for a new round of tariffs on China. And he welcomed 2 national champion college baseball teams to the White House today, both from Louisiana.
Both of these teams brought incredible pride and grit and glory to their schools, for the state. And today they're bringing that same Louisiana spirit to a place called the White House. Has anyone heard of it, huh?
LSU Tigers celebrating their 8th national championship. LSU Shreveport Pilots were undefeated on their way to an NAIA national title, the first team in college baseball history to accomplish the feat. President praised the players for their performance, talked about their hands.
Guys have very strong hands, I'm noticing, you know. They're ripping me. They're ripping my hand up. These are strong people. You don't hit those home runs without strong, beautiful hands.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Police reporting a crash 40 westbound at 28th Avenue, exit 207. Then in Murfreesboro, Highway Patrol says there's a crash 24 eastbound near Medical Center Parkway. Just picked up another crash. Police showing this 440 eastbound past Nolensville Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. As promised, I'm jumping back onto the phones. 615-737-9986. Several folks wanted to comment on a call we had earlier today with Glenn. If you missed it, boy, it was as they say, it was a doozy. A doozy. One way or the other, if you missed it, you can find it on the podcast. You can find it on the replay. You can find it on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. All of that is available to you at Supertalk 99.7 WTN. You can find more at 997WTN.com, or you can go to those various positions and find us there. We invite you to go to the talk side of things on the television side, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. I am found over on the YouTube side of things, and you're welcome to join us there, where there's a great, robust chat going on that is unmonitored, I warn you that it is an unmonitored chat. Then there's the phone line, 615-737-9986. No Kings rallies happening Saturday. Congratulations. We still have no Kings. I'm waiting on a robust explanation as to exactly what the liberals are asking for, except that they don't like Donald Trump's policies. The remedy that they have through the courts, per our Constitution, is to challenge his legal authority to do certain things. They've been doing so. They've won a few of the battles. They've lost most of them. That is the proper remedy, so I'm not exactly sure what they're asking for, except a redo with regard to our democratic process. They claim to love democracy until such time as they lose, and then they don't like it so much. In the meantime, we've got lots of other matters going on, to include locally, and I'm going to tell you about this after I get to phone calls. Locally, there's already a wrongful death lawsuit that has been filed as a result of this munitions plant explosion. We have an update for you with that situation coming up in just a couple of minutes, and an update with regard to the federal government shutdown. But right now we go back to the phones. Matt joins us next with a thought on the influence of the Jewish state. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good.
What's on your mind, brother?
Well, just calling in to kind of talk about what Glenn was talking about, just kind of the influence and control that Israel, not so much Jewish, but the Israel control has over the U.S., especially regarding AIPAC.
Sure. Tell me what AIPAC is.
Well, AIPAC it's American Israel Lobby. That's mostly funded by people who fund a bunch of donors that fund the AIPAC, and then they use that funding pool to basically buy politicians.
So probably
that's a high.
Would you say that? I know it's fair. I mean, it's a perfectly acceptable summary in my opinion. Would you say that AIPAC is more, less, or equally as influential in American politics as the pharmaceutical industry?
I would say it is. I would say it's more
influential than the pharmaceutical industry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that AIPAC is more, less, or equally as influential as the NRA?
I do agree that the NRA has a pretty nasty control over Republican politicians, just like how pharmaceutical has a pretty nasty control over Democratic politicians. But AIPAC has control over both sides of the party.
But they don't control all of the politicians, or do they, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know about all of them, but a pretty good portion, to the point where they get these nice little funded trips over to the Holy Land.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and NRA funds junkets. Other lobbying organizations fund junkets. My question then is, if you believe that AIPAC has undue influence on American politicians and the manner in which they vote, if you feel like they create a dynamic by which these individuals vote more in the interest of Israel than they do their constituencies, I mean, I think the ultimate answer for that would be that the constituencies vote them out of office. That would be the easy answer. But more broadly, then what should we as a nation do about that? Should we shut AIPAC down?
No, I think AIPAC's important. I just think that it should be held to the same standards that other foreign lobbyist groups get. So, it's pretty popular online.
It's not a foreign lobbyist group.
Okay, so what is Israel? Is Israel not a foreign country?
No, Israel is a foreign country, but these are American individuals that are lobbying to create a dynamic by which the elected politicians do what they believe is in the best interest of the partnership with America and Israel. I'm just separating. If it was a foreign entity that was funding the lobbyist organization, they could not lobby in the same fashion that they do. But they're they're well investigated in terms of where their monetary sources come from, and their monetary sources come from here in the United States of America. I'm just trying to keep it straight that you said they're a foreign lobbyist organization. They're not a foreign lobby. They're an American lobbyist organization lobbying in favor of the interest of Israel.
Okay. So that's why it's not registered under FARA.
Correct.
Okay. And so this lobbyist group gets a lot of money to help Israel's campaign in foreign countries, like 7 other countries that they've attacked and stuff like that. So that's what it's for?
Yeah, I mean, they are lobbying for the interests, which is what a special interest group does, their interests. Yeah. And if they believe it is in the best interest of the United States of America to keep a good and solid relationship with Israel, or if their goal is to promote better relationships with Israel for the purpose of elevating Israel, as long as they are Americans that are funding it, and it's coming from nationalized resources as opposed to international resources, they don't have to register as a foreign lobbying organization. Now, there are plenty of people that would argue me down that they don't take money from foreign interests. But I would suggest that if you just go look at the money, then I've seen no evidence that it is not the case that they are following the rules that they are required to follow.
Okay. So I guess my question is, why is it so important to, fund a foreign country with a lot of U.S. dollars?
We believe that it is, the United States has traditionally believed that it is in America's interest that Israel, A, maintain its existence, and B, maintain a democracy in that region of the world.
Okay, why is it?
They're an ally surrounded by. You can argue that it's not. That's fine. You can make that argument, and if enough people win elections, I'm in favor of eliminating all foreign aid until we get our national debt crisis in order. So you're talking to somebody that would agree that we need to eliminate all foreign sources of aid. So I don't necessarily agree with any of the money that now I agree with technology sharing, and I believe that the United States of America.
Same.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and I just found it very interesting that this foreign country gets significantly more amount of money to fund their campaigns or wars that we get involved in when we have still Western North Carolina, not really supported by the hurricane disaster relief. That just really bothers me a lot when I see that the U.S. is, in the last 2 years spent 4 or 5 times more supporting this foreign country's efforts to protect themselves, I guess, and instead of helping our own citizens. So, and I think that also comes from the influence that we get from AIPAC.
I've spoken to people who live over in the western portions of North Carolina, Asheville, Fairview, and we've had regular conversations in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, and they tell me that they believe that that they have been funded adequately by the federal government. What more do you believe that the federal government needs to do for those people?
Well, I just have one friend that lives out there. He lives off I-40, right near where it was destroyed. And it appears that there's just not a whole lot of help And in terms of like rebuilding.
What help has your friend not received?
Well, he hasn't said specifically, but I imagine it has to do with rebuilding the infrastructure, clearing out the debris, helping out families that don't have resources, stuff like that.
Well, if the broader argument, I would suggest that particularly since Donald Trump has taken over, that we've seen maximum levels of resources through the Federal Emergency Management Agency go to that region of the world. But more broadly, if your argument is that we need to take care of our folks here at home before we take care of foreign interest, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. And secondarily, I believe that we need to take care of our debt interests here at home before we take care of any other foreign entities. I would agree with you there.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the point I was making. I'm not saying don't help out a foreign country and all stuff like that, but we do have more favorable interests to help out our citizens with our own tax dollars, because I think if Israel's not paying our taxes, they shouldn't get our tax dollars. Now,
before we let you go ahead and tell everyone how you believe that I'm getting money from Israel.
Oh, no, I was just...
You're just messing around.
You
just messing around.
You.
Oh, well, very good. Very good. That's all. That's all fair, brother. I mean, I do the same. Look, I appreciate the conversation, and look,
I do too. Yeah,
I mean, I think there's I think it's a very reasonable conversation that Matt and I just had. Sadly, with Glenn, it started off on a bad foot, and I think that there are legitimate and reasonable criticisms of our relationship between the nation of Israel and the United States of America. And there are reasonable people that believe that we are focused on too many foreign interests, to include Israel, and not enough American interests. That is a worthy discussion. It is not a worthy discussion for me to have with someone who begins the discussion by saying that, the Jews control everything and I hate the Jews and the Jews control this and that and the other thing and the Jews control you. It's just nonsense. I mean, it's and you have not heard the term anti-Semitism come out of my mouth, because I try not to put those motivational things inside of people's heads. I just let their words speak for them, and we can all hear it. You can hear the difference in conversation. So now, if you don't like the fact that AIPAC exists, then elect politicians that refuse to take money from AIPAC, and at some point, AIPAC will cease to exist. But if you want to build a structure that would eliminate AIPAC from its ability as an American entity to raise money for the interest of promoting relations between Israel and the United States of America, and to elect pro-Israel candidates to the American system of government, well, then that's a bigger conversation about money and speech, and why would you do that for this entity but not that for this entity? The argument is always, well, they're a foreign. No, they're not. I mean, the money does not track that they are a foreign interest. It is an American political action committee, whether you like it or not. And I know that a lot of people don't like me saying that. Whatever. So until and unless you tell me of a system by which we don't allow groups of people to get together anymore and collect their money and pool their money and try to present their interest to the elected officials across the United States of America, then I don't know what to tell you. Because that's a matter of freedom of speech and freedom of association and freedom to petition the government for a redress of grievances. All of those things that we talk about in the First Amendment, that's what special interest money is. That's what they do, whether it's the pharmaceutical industry or the NRA. And I find it fascinating, and I'm not talking about Matt necessarily, but I find it fascinating that we focus on those special interests that we disagree with, and we give a pass to those special interests that we find ourselves a part of. It's a political blind spot, in my opinion. 22 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Homeowners trust USS. They have since 1994. They've built a level of trust with over 30,000 residential customers. You heard me correctly. That's a lot of people calling USS. A lot of people saying, hey, guys, I've got this issue. I smell moldy and mildewy. It smells bad in my basement. It smells bad in my crawl space. I know that there's moisture down there, and I don't know what to do about it. Well, waterproofing issues are a great concern here in the state of Tennessee. What about those telltale signs that you've got foundation issues? You know, like doors or windows sticking, or even those cracks that you find in masonry joints, those telltale stair step cracks that we find from time to time. That's all about foundation that is settling in an incorrect fashion, and it could endanger your home if you don't catch it. And catch it early. That's where USS comes in. Keeping homes stable and dry since 1994, they guarantee their best at USS. So if you've noticed any of the issues, let's solve it by giving them a call at 615-488-7855, 488-7855, or online at USSTN.com.
A Nashville man is in custody after keeping police at bay for hours in Lebanon. We'll tell you how that went down at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I love the call. Look, I love the call with Matt. Thank you. See, Matts can be civil to one another. I appreciate the telephone call. I would love it if you gave us a call at 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. And thank you, Matt, for calling in. Hope you enjoyed it. I had to gig him a little bit because he gigged me on the super text line. It was like, here, Matt Murphy getting his $7,000 from Israel. Like, what? I mean, I support Israel, And if they're handing out $7,000 checks and I'm not getting some of that, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, is that going to be retroactive?
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, because we're going to party. Y'all, if I got some checks coming to me, this radio show is going out on the road.
Where are we going?
We're going to hit Broadway and maybe other locations of a more adventurous nature. I don't know.
$7,000. You and Ken can split a beer.
No, I feel like, well, that's a great point. Now that the property taxes are going into effect, they're going to have to change those $6 beer signs to $10.
$6?
No, I just don't. Ken, have you seen the billboards? I don't want to live in a world where some of these Broadway establishments, hey, I'll give them as an example because it's true, because I love nudies, right?
Yeah.
Come to nudies, $6 beers.
Wow.
It's like, that's a big point of emphasis.
That's cheap down there.
Oh, yes. Cheap.
What is it, Nat Light?
Probably. Yeah,
Pabst.
Probably Natty Light. Oh, if it's Pabst, I'll take one of those. I'll take two.
Well, that's the blue ribbon.
Roberts used to have the recession special. I don't know if they still have it or not.
What was that?
It was no. This is good, Ken. This is our kind of joint. That's why Roberts Western World is my second favorite bar on Broadway.
Have you been to the Stage?
I've not been to the Stage. I have been to the Stage. I like the Stage. I like Bootleggers.
Been to Post Malone's new bar?
I have not been to Post Malone.
I like it.
Is it one of those modern, big old fancy?
It's got a bunch of different floors with a bunch of different. You can pick your vibe.
Yeah, I don't. Too many people. Too many people. I just like old school. I'm better off at Dino's down in East Nashville than I am at any of these places, or the Batter's Box, something like that. But at Roberts Western World, I don't know if this is still the case because I hadn't been in like a year.
Yeah.
You get a bologna sandwich, bag of chips, PBR, $10.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they fry the bologna?
Yes.
Oh man.
Weaver.
I didn't know that.
Ken will be there for lunch tomorrow.
Ken, I'll take you. We need to go.
I need to start buying me one of those big old things of bologna.
Oh, man. I smoked one time on my smoker, Ken. You score it just right, and then put it in there and smoke it for about 3 hours.
Oh.
Make you slap your mama.
Yes, sir.
I love me a good old slab of bologna. My grandpa used to tell the story. Pa used to love telling the story. We went out to, it was at the Western Sizzlin'.
Yes.
And I was a young kid. My mama was having a procedure done after her brain surgery, and we were in Augusta. We went to the Western Sizzlin', and I don't remember doing this, but my grandpa always said that I asked the lady if she had bologna.
Yes, sir.
And she said no.
Oh.
Young man, we do not. I asked the waitress if we had, do you have bologna? And she said no. And he said he was so disappointed that he wasn't going to get his bologna. So he had to eat a steak. That's the way we rolled. Speaking of rolling, several people, for some reason, Jackson, are asking me to tell you roll.
Don't say it.
What is that? I don't know what that means.
Roll? Whoa, what?
I don't
What's
know.
that about?
I don't know what that means. You okay?
I'm okay.
You gonna be all right?
I just want to keep my baseball coach right now.
You still got everything in front of you, brother. Everything's in front of you. Everything's in front of y'all. I mean, I believe that. If y'all went out, I believe. Don't you think, Ken?
Well, yes.
If
we just got to beat those Sooners.
No, sir.
Well, I mean, that's something that you'd have to do.
I don't want it to happen.
If you lose to the Sooners, you're out.
Because we got a bye week this week. We're heading up to Kentucky for some team bonding in Lexington.
You better look out, dude.
We're all going to Kroger.
Watch out. That's what Texas said, man.
Texas is terrible.
They are pretty bad.
Ken, how did y'all lose to Texas?
I mean,
because we tried to play a quarterback with a broken hand too soon. And then you got tight ends who can't block, but you run an inside zone in it. What in the world are you doing? Your tight ends can't block inside zone.
Just let them go, Matt.
It's like that scene in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Snots. Word of warning, though, Clark, if he gets going on you, best just let him finish.
You know what? I think it might work this time, fellas.
Let's just let him mumble till he does the news.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4's Jeremy Finley says a Nashville man's in custody after keeping police at bay for hours in Lebanon.
Police say Roger Watts barricaded himself inside a condo on Leeville Pike. He was wanted for several charges out of Wilson and Rutherford counties. Police say that Watts wouldn't come out, and when they were worried that he might be armed because nearby homes were evacuated and some schools were placed on soft lockdowns. After 4 to 5 hours, a SWAT team went inside the condo. They found Watts in the closet and arrested him without incident.
This was the Crosswinds Condominiums complex just off Leeville Pike, just west of 231. Police in Atlanta say they thwarted what could have been a mass shooting at their airport today. Chief Darren Shirebaum.
Today is how it should work. Community, law enforcement, dedicated men and women wearing the uniform and trained to respond when their community needs them.
Chief Shirebaum says Billy Cagle drove to the south terminal of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to assess crowd levels, but police were alerted to his activities by family and arrested him at the airport in his pickup truck. Chief says they found an assault rifle.
I do believe that Mr. Cagle was headed back to his truck to retrieve it, and I do believe he was likely to use that weapon inside the crowded terminal that he had just seen.
Cagle reportedly told family members via FaceTime call that he was going to, quote, shoot up the airport, and his family immediately alerted authorities. Day 20 of the federal government shutdown, President Trump weighing in.
All we want to do is have a vote of continuation, and it's the first time in history that a group has not voted for continuation, so they have what's called a Trump derangement problem.
Now, Democrats say they're holding firm on their health care demands, while Republicans say they're willing to negotiate health care, but not while the government shut down. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Woodbine police reporting a crash 440 eastbound past Nolensville Pike. Murfreesboro, a crash. Highway Patrol reporting 24 eastbound near Medical Center Parkway. Eastbound 440, by the way, it is coming to a complete stop due to that crash just on the other side of Nolensville Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Friends, Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Shane Ring has said for many, many months since I've been talking about him and since I've gotten to know him that you don't have to wait. I mean, sadly, some of these insurance programs have conditioned you to believe that only in open enrollment periods can you make changes with your insurance, and that's just not true. There are plenty of ways to make changes throughout the course of the year, but the bottom line is this: whether or not you believe it, it is, it's open enrollment time, right? So now is a great time of year for you to make sure. I mean, now's the perfect time for you to make sure if you're getting the most out of your insurance, whether it is an employee contribution or an employment contribution or not. Let Shane Ring talk with you about your insurance, and let's see what we can do to save you some money with oftentimes a superior plan. Health insurance can feel like a math test. I get that. Shane Ring just goes through all of it with you, and he explains it in a way where it's easy to understand. He explains what deductibles are and what copays are and outpatients and why some are so much and some are so little. I mean, he works through all of this with you so you can easily understand what you're paying for on a monthly basis, and there are no surprises with Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Plus, he works for you. He doesn't work for insurance companies. Go to CoverNash.com. That's CoverNash.com, or give him a call at 615-465-0023, 465-0023 for Cover Nash. So they're doing construction work at the White House, and liberals are freaking out because that's what liberals do. You know, the Trump administration has decided to expand on the, I guess it's the east side of the White House, and create a bigger, better ballroom that can fit more people. I've been to the White House. I mean, I'm not saying anything special. I've been to tours of the White House, right? And it's not as big as you think it would be. Even the Oval Office is not as big as you would think it would be. Particularly the main structure and the East Room, which is where they hold a lot of these ceremonial functions. It's not a big place. It's not as, I mean, it's big. It's a ballroom, but it's not, it's big by, 1890s standards. It's not big by 2025 standards. So anyway, Donald Trump is doing some construction work. He's building a bigger ballroom and paying for it himself. And liberals are absolutely freaking out about it. Forget the fact that just about every president that has been president has done some sort of renovation or some sort of addition. They always do their own things, depending on their particular.
He's coughing.
Pardon me, likes or dislikes. I'm coughing. Never mind. Don't answer. Don't answer that. You know what you could do while I cough?
Nincompoops in the news.
Hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Time for Nincompoops in the news. You ready?
I'm ready.
Where's your nincompoop from, Ken?
Mine is from Nashville, Tennessee,
Okay. All right,
boys.
that's very good. Very good. I like hearing that because yours is from Nashville. Where's yours from? This is what we do because we're always worried that we're going to duplicate. Where's yours from, Jackson?
Mine is also from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, son of a biscuit
I'm just
eater.
kidding. It's
No.
Kansas, Ken. I just wanted to mess with you.
Jackson.
Mine's from Florida.
Who's going first? Who won?
I don't remember who won on Friday. We need to be better about it. We need to designate an official. If there was someone with the ability to count these things up and figure all of this out.
We need an intern is what we need.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if there was someone that could produce those numbers for us on a daily basis.
The world may never know. But, when in doubt,
go to Ken Weaver.
Take it away, Ken.
All right, boys. My nincompoops is a woman sets man's tent on fire in Nashville, charged with arson. A woman is accused of setting a man's tent on fire in downtown Nashville. She told officers she did it because the man was whispering to her.
Whoa, whispering.
And apparently it wasn't sweet nothings.
Aw.
The man was inside of the tent at the time the fire was ignited.
You need to burn this tent down. Is that what he was whispering?
You sure are ugly.
You've got a pretty mouth.
Your mom is ugly, too. And she's got a rip in her couch.
Can I pet that dog?
The report states that the man who lives in a homeless camp behind the Riverfront train station was inside his tent when he noticed it was partially on fire.
Uh-oh.
He was able to get out and extinguish the fire. The man said he then noticed Marissa Muse and believes she set his tent on fire because her tent is right next to his. The man then called the Metro Nashville Police Department. According to the affidavit, when officers spoke to Muse, she reportedly admitting to setting the fire to the man's tent.
What?
She is charged with felony aggravated arson.
Ken, I'm guilty of not paying close enough attention right at the beginning of this story.
Yes, sir.
These are urban outdoorsmen and women?
Yeah.
Is that a good way to put it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but they have phones?
Apparently, yes. Because I don't know if any payphone.
I mean, I don't. Right. So these are what we would our unhoused population.
Unhoused population got phones,
and they've got some phones.
Yes, sir.
And this one fella was whispering to another lady.
His whispering at her,
and she didn't like that.
She didn't like it at all. Apparently not.
And so she burned his tent down.
She set it right on fire while he was in it.
Good gracious, man. Add that to the list of dangers of being homeless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got enough. Don't these poor folk have enough going on? Begging for loose change down there? I mean, and now we got to worry about our fellow urban outdoorsmen burning our property to the ground?
Yes.
My goodness gracious. So she was charged, huh? Well, at least she got a roof over her head. I mean, if we wanted to look on the bright side of things, she's got 3 squares coming for a little while.
Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe she had run out of food.
I'm just imagining this guy's trying to whisper to her. He's trying to get sweet on her.
Yeah, he was probably whispering sweet nothings.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't having any of it.
Come on over to my tent, babe. My tent's a double wide.
Yeah.
My tent's got those extra flappies on it.
Yeah.
Where you can let the breeze come through.
Right.
Hey, I won't. I'm not
be
gonna.
careful, Brother Murphy.
I'm gonna be nice. But then he goes, "Well, it didn't work out. Well, I'll get her tomorrow. I'll get her. I just need to go to bed and sleep off this Ripple or whatever the hell he's drinking." And then before you know it, whoosh! I bet those tents go up quick.
I would think they would.
My goodness, that's dangerous. Jackson.
Yes.
You want to go next?
Yes, let me pull my story up. Sorry, I got out of the way for
No,
Ken
that's
Weaver.
okay. We're still experiencing a camera-less Ken Weaver.
But the people need to see Ken Weaver.
Are we still blaming Joan Jones for that? I think so.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, it was Jones' fault.
Yeah.
All right, man arrested after asking for gas, saying not to call the cops while driving a stolen truck. This comes out of Crawford County, Kansas. A man in southeast Kansas was arrested over the weekend for stealing a truck, the sheriff's office says. The Crawford County Sheriff's Office said Saturday evening the deputies received a call that a man had pulled into a residence in a 2003 Chevrolet Silverado and asked the homeowner for gas and to not call the cops, which is a big old red flag, the sheriff's office said on Facebook. The truck was reported stolen earlier in the week. When deputies arrived at the home on Saturday evening, the truck was found with a different license plate. The driver identified as Michael Jackson and not the one who sang Billie Jean. The sheriff's office added was arrested for possessing stolen property.
I like how the sheriff says that was a big old red flag.
That's a big one.
You know what that fella needs to do? He needs to look at the man in the mirror.
If he had tried to run, it would have become a thriller.
He's bad.
I don't think he's going to wait. This case is going to be tough for him. I don't think he's going to beat it.
Yeah, there you go.
Landed the plane.
There you go. I like that.
It's hard to beat it in.
It's he'll probably get bailed out of jail by his girlfriend. You know her,
Billie Jean.
Billie Jean. Gainesville, Florida. I don't know that I've ever had a Florida man story.
Gainesville, the Gators.
As long as we've done nincompoops in the news, but I finally
Is it Billy Napier?
I finally have myself. No, that'd be a good one though, huh? Man, oh man, I was lobbying hard to keep old Billy. Every other team in the SEC.
Lifetime contract
for Billy Napier, baby.
You guys.
Lifetime contract for that fella. I can't
and
believe
Brent
it.
Venables.
Well, I mean, I'm so pleased. Jackson, there's no call.
Hey, the next 2 weeks are Ken Weaver hate week.
Jackson, there's no call for that.
Oh.
There's so many different teams. Let's see some Vandy violence.
They're too good right now.
Man.
Yeah, you better look out for
Hey,
them.
y'all see who's coming to town?
Yes,
College game day.
College game day's coming to town. How about that?
I bet it's going to be a nightmare getting downtown Saturday.
Going to be a hoot on Saturday. All right, Gainesville, Florida, and this is not about Billy Napier. Putnam County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man after they say he threatened his neighbor with a knife. Sheriff's deputies arrested a man by the name of Minor Catledge, and I'm not making that up. C-A-T-L-E-D-G-E, Catledge, on Friday with the charge of aggravated assault. Deputies say Catledge confronted his neighbor, who he said was walking her dog on a public path adjacent to his property, but he claimed it was on his property. According to the victim, Catledge said that the public path was his, and he told her that she should not come back there again, and if she did, he was going to eat her dog.
Goodness.
Deputies responded and spoke to Catledge about the property dispute. They left believing the incident was resolved. About an hour later, Catledge went onto the victim's property and began to threaten her and her family with a knife. While the police responded to the threat and took Cartledge into custody, or Catledge, that is, into custody. And apparently on the way to jail, Catledge told deputies that he planned, when he got out of jail, to beat the victim and eat her dog.
Goodness.
He was booked on a $5,000 bond. No word on whether or not he is back out of jail. So,
what kind of commitment was he making? Was it a big dog or a little dog?
I don't see the story does not say, Jackson, and I looked for it because I was wondering, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a Great Dane sized deal, because that's a commitment.
That's a meal.
Are we talking about a little Yorkie?
A snack or a meal?
Yeah, I mean, and what
fat wiener.
What was the obsession about eating the dog? I'm going to eat it.
I'm going to eat your dog.
I'm going to eat your dog.
So, true story, and that's Nincompoops in the news, by the way. We'll play the music in a second. True story. Oh, yeah, just go ahead and play. Just go ahead and play. Yeah, there. So, a coworker of mine in Birmingham, Alabama, this went to the Alabama Supreme Court. This is a true story, and nobody ever believes it when I tell the story. She was living in a neighborhood, and one of her neighbors kept allowing their dogs to go to the bathroom on her property.
Oh.
And so she started going out around the time that they were going out, saying, hey, y'all need to stop doing that. Well, eventually somebody got sued. Guess who got sued?
She did?
Valerie got sued.
For
harassment.
You're kidding me.
This dude was an attorney, and it was his drunk wife that kept walking the dogs in Valerie's yard. And they kept going number 2 in her yard. And she tried to put a stop to it, and he sued her for harassment. Went all the way to the Alabama Supreme Court before she won that case. Wow. And then they had to pay all the monetary recompense. Just a fascinating story. Yeah, there's weird people in the world. Don't let your dadgum dog go on somebody else's property.
Pick up after your dog.
Pick up after your dog. I mean, what would you do if I went running around pooping on your yard? You wouldn't like it. You would expect me to pick up after myself, now wouldn't you? I think you would. That's how we play Nincompoops in the news. You can vote for Jackson Williams, but I would not advise it. You can vote for Ken Weaver, and he's a nicer guy, so I would maybe advise that. Or you can vote for me, Matt Murphy.
I don't advise that.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment, you gentlemen in particular, about, well, your health, specifically your sexual health. Guys, I know it's a personal subject, and, you don't need some guy on the radio telling you what to do, but I will suggest this. If you've noticed a lack in your game, right? If you've noticed a strong desire, but not so much the can do, just the want to, then I need you to call Tennessee Men's Clinic, because they can put some solutions in your life that can solve what ails you and get you back into the game. Gentlemen, there's no excuse for this in 2025, right? I mean, there was a time when, if you lost it, and that was over. If you lost your fastball was gone. You can get that fastball back with the Tennessee Men's Clinic by making the call and selecting the location nearest you, Cool Springs, the original location in Midtown, or the new location in Clarksville. And let's get back to life, man. Let's get back to intimacy with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. That telephone number is 615-208-9090, 208-9090 for our friends at the Tennessee Men's Clinic. I encourage you to call today or online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
Metro Police looking for the person who shot and killed a teenager at a Bellevue apartment complex. This place has had a lot of trouble over the past 3 years. We'll tell you about it at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, yeah. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We missed so many, Jackson. There were so many other awful Michael Jackson plays on words or puns that we could have done. I mean, the fella you were talking about who was named Michael Jackson, right?
Yes.
And he want to be starting something, apparently.
He was trying to get to his pretty young thing.
Well, he wasn't a very smooth criminal.
Well, he was off the wall.
See. Now, give it a minute and we can catch up. He could catch up. So I'm getting a lot of Weaver for the win.
Yay!
I'm getting a lot of that. I think they just like you a lot. 2774 says, "Can I eat that dog? Can I eat that dog? Let me eat that dog." I'm not going to let you eat that dog. And what was it? Oh, there are several of you on the Super Text line that are offering pickup lines for the outdoor outdoor adventurer, the urban outdoorsman.
Next door neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Next tent neighbors.
Hey, I got me a new pine tree air freshener from a tent. You want to come over here and smell that thing? Eric is not into it, though. He said that the story was too intense.
What, the fire story?
Get it? It's too intense.
Oh, yes.
Too
That's
intense.
great. That's awesome.
This is too intense.
Went right over my head.
Oh, man. It reminds me of it. I wouldn't have gotten it either, Ken, but I remember that old joke is that the guy goes to the doctor.
Yes.
He says, "Doctor, you got to help me." And the doctor says, "Well, what seems to be the problem?" He goes, "One minute I'm a wigwam, and then I'm a teepee, and I'm a wigwam, and I'm a teepee, and I'm a wigwam, and I'm a teepee." And the doctor says, "Oh, calm down. You're too intense."
See, I love jokes like
so
that, man.
Stupid, so stupid.
I mean, I love it. That's why I've got this whole deck of dad jokes on cards in here.
We need to do a daily Ken Weaver dad joke.
Yeah,
I got one more Michael Jackson joke.
Okay, go. And then you got to play the music.
When he
Ken
asked
needs to do
when
the
he
music.
asked for the gas, he said he wasn't going to stop till he got enough.
I mean, if we want to go back, I think this perpetrator probably didn't study in school.
He didn't know his ABCs.
He didn't know his. Dadgummit, you beat me to it.
The police said they don't rock with you.
You done yet? Just reading the super text line now?
Now in a prison cell, he said you were not alone.
Jackson's got all of the song titles up on the computer.
You're just reading from the list of hits.
He was just trying to jam.
Yeah? Yeah?
The original owner of the car said, "I want you back."
I don't know if I'm coming back or not. There's another hour to go. Let's find out together on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
The court system says heaven can wait.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, police are looking for the person who shot and killed a teenager at a Bellevue apartment complex. Channel 4's Dryden Quigley reports.
Here at the Forest Park Apartments, there have been 2 homicides, and that's just in the past week. According to the Metro Police data dashboard, over the last 3 years, there have been more than 50 incidents here.
Channel 4 says crime maps show in less than 3 years there have been 37 assaults, 12 larcenies, 6 auto thefts, 6 burglaries in less than 3 years, including bullets flying into an apartment from a neighboring apartment. And then last year, a 37-year-old man was shot dead in front of his unit. Since that shooting, Forest Park Apartments say they've put in new security cameras and lighting. Police in Atlanta say they thwarted what could have been a mass shooting at one of the country's busiest airports. Authorities say Billy Cagle of nearby Cartersville drove to the south terminal of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to assess crowd levels but police were alerted to his activities by family members and arrested him at the airport. In his pickup truck, they say they found an assault rifle. Here's Chief Darren Shirebaum.
We found inside a Springfield AR-15 assault rifle, a 5.56 St. Victor model with 27 rounds of ammunition.
Cagle reportedly told family members via a FaceTime call he was going to shoot up the airport. His family immediately alerted authorities. James Comey asking a federal judge to dismiss his indictment for making false statements to Congress.
James Comey's lawyers filed 2 separate motions to dismiss the case on Monday. One arguing that the case against Comey was vindictive, and another calling into question the authority of acting U.S. Attorney Lindsey Halligan, who Trump appointed after another prosecutor declined to bring charges against his political opponents. Comey's lawyers argue that his indictment for making false statements to Congress was a product of a years-long pressure campaign by President Trump that shattered DOJ norms, violated Comey's free speech rights, and broke multiple laws. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got a crash, 40 westbound past Charlotte Avenue, exit 209. Then Rutherford County got report of tire tread in the roadway, 840 eastbound before I-24. And then if you're still trying to get out of the downtown area, it's actually looking pretty good. Now, northbound 65 to get to the South Loop, that's bumper to bumper. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy, final hour of the Matt Murphy Radio Show. I decided to stick around. Jackson Williams, sadly, has mentally departed.
Nope, got one more Michael Jackson joke.
Okay, you'll be departing after this joke to go watch football or something or another. What are you doing in there, Jackson? Don't make you turn that channel.
A little behind the scenes. Ken watches WKRN, ABC.
Ken, hold on a second, Jackson. Before you just go off on a Ken Weaver follows all of the different news channels.
Yes, but I have a TV in here.
I see what you're saying.
And we keep it on ABC because he's got CBS and NBC back there.
Okay,
so
very good. Way to
ABC,
repair that.
At 6 o'clock, went to Monday Night Football.
Did they?
And it is a phenomenal game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. And after I say this, the criminal was feeling dangerous when stealing that car. All right, I'm done.
Well, human nature.
I'm out of Michael Jackson songs, and I will not expend the physical energy that it would take to touch this keyboard to type in Michael Jackson songs.
He took the car because he was trying to go to Chicago.
See, now, are we in deep cuts, Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
I was getting ready to say, man.
Hopefully while he's in jail, nobody says you rock my world.
Have we done Pretty Young Thing?
Yeah, I did that one.
Okay.
You want a couple more?
No.
Good, because I'm out of songs.
You sure?
Oh, he'll look back on this as a funny story, and he'll say, remember the time?
You definitely don't want anybody in jail saying you rock my world.
The only reason that I'm allowing this to continue is because Ken seems to be getting a kick out of it. That's the only reason that this is happening.
That's the only reason he's totally enabling me.
There have to be a few more Jackson 5.
Oh.
Tito.
Surely Jackson has 5 more.
He tried to defend his crime by saying it's human nature.
What? Weaver just gave you that one. Can I get to a couple of my clips now?
Yeah.
While you watch some football, or
I'm sure if I don't, there will be blood on the dance floor.
Jeez.
He's still laughing back there.
I know.
I'm done now.
You finished? I feel like I'm in Neverland. Thank you, Ken. Remember, y'all remember?
Remember a time?
Y'all remember a time? Y'all remember when Michael Jackson had that? Y'all remember when Michael Jackson was so famous, he had that monkey and everybody acted like it was okay?
Oh, that's right.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that he took that monkey to an award ceremony and everybody acted like it was cool?
Oh, my goodness.
He looked at the monkey and said, will you be there?
Y'all remember when Michael Jackson was so famous and nobody would bother to stop him when he was like dangling his kids over the balcony? Y'all remember that?
Yes, I remember. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Y'all remember the time when he started inviting little kids to sleep in his bed with him? Y'all remember that?
Oh, Brother Murphy.
Took a turn. I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's true. He gave him, well, never mind. He gave him, he talked about Jesus juice. You have my Jesus juice. I mean, it's not my fault. I didn't have anything to do with it. Nothing to do with it. I'm just here to report the news.
I just report the news, boys. Yeah.
3304 wants to know if we can moonwalk this segment back to the beginning. I wish we could. 4667 says, I don't know about anybody else, but it's black and white. This needs to end. I agree. And then what was the one that he did with Paul McCartney? Say. I got another story. That's the one.
I already did that one.
You did say? I missed it.
So.
Ebony and Ivory.
Well, that was a good one.
You can't fit that one in.
Yeah, you can't
anywhere.
fit that one in. It was a good song, though.
I thought Ebony and Ivory was Stevie Wonder.
Oh, that's Stevie Wonder. Yeah. What am I losing my mind?
I don't know. It's late. I mean, it's been a long week. We're about to call it a weekend.
It just started.
I know. It's been a long few months for folks like Karine Jean-Pierre. She recently appeared on a podcast, the Tim Miller podcast. I just want to share this with you. Folks like Karine Jean-Pierre live in a different world. And for some reason or another, they think that all of us are dumb, that all of us weren't around when Joe Biden's administration was around. Now, if you're watching on Talk TV, I warn you, this is Karine Jean-Pierre with less makeup than we're normally used to seeing her with. And she's very, very tight on the camera shot, so it's a little bit frightening. But what's more frightening is her memory of the Biden administration. Listen to this and laugh.
We did have legislative wins.
Sure,
and
but he
that
didn't
is
talk about him that well, though. He couldn't talk about him. He wasn't campaigning.
By the way, I should note, Tim Miller is a liberal. So it's not as if she is on an aggressive podcast. She's on with a friendly, and he correctly notes he didn't talk about any of his victories very well. He didn't talk about anything very well. Listen to what this woman says.
And
He didn't talk about him that well, though. He couldn't talk about him. He wasn't campaigning.
No. Wait. First of all, he did talk about them. Whether it broke through or not, he did. Tim, he did talk about.
I mean, he talked way less to the press than Donald Trump does. Way less. And he wasn't out there at all. He wasn't good off the cuff. He wasn't doing press conferences. Let's just be real. Like, he didn't do paid events.
Tim, that's not true. Tim, you're
okay. I'm just going to pause for a second. This guy, Tim, he's a friendly. He agrees ideologically with Karine Jean-Pierre and Joe Biden or whoever was making the decisions for Joe Biden. But he's just speaking truth from his personal experience. All of our personal experience. Joe Biden was not in command of the White House. He was not in command of his own faculties. I don't think he was in command of his own bowels. Joe Biden could not promote anything coming out of the White House because, well, he couldn't promote it. And the only legislative accomplishment that I could possibly point to would be his Inflation Reduction Act, which did not do either. It did not reduce inflation. As a matter of fact, made it worse. Remember when they were out here touting, hold on, Karine Jean-Pierre, I'm not done yet. Remember when they were out here touting Bidenomics? Ooh, Bidenomics. They shut up with that pretty quick, didn't they?
Way less to the press than Donald Trump does. Way less. And he wasn't out there at all. He wasn't good off the cuff. He wasn't doing press conferences. Let's just be real. Like, he didn't do paid events.
Tim, that's not true. Tim, you're conflating all of it. That's what you're doing. No, you're telling me he didn't talk well about it. Then you're telling me he didn't talk at all.
He didn't do either. He didn't talk very often, and when he did, it wasn't very good. He sounded very old.
Maybe you weren't paying attention to what we were doing at the White House. But
I paid attention. I'm with you on the policies. I'm talking about his performance.
The president spoke to the American people a couple times a week. He traveled and did domestic travel and talked directly to the American people.
It's fascinating the level of gaslighting that is going on with these people. Donald Trump speaks directly to the American people through his social media apparatus on almost an hourly basis. He speaks directly to the American people through Q&As with reporters off the cuff every single day. Well, I won't say every day because that's hyperbolic. Just about every day. He did today. Did y'all see him today? He had the Australian president in there with him in the White House. And it was like an hour-long Q&A with the turkey gaggle, blah, 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 and he would answer the question, blah, 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 and he would answer another question about anything on their minds. And Karine Jean-Pierre wants you to believe that Joe Biden was as responsible. I'm fascinated by this. And this guy's just trying to be. This guy, I might disagree with this Miller fella about every piece of policy presented by Donald Trump or the Joe Biden, but he's just trying to be real. It's like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying is truth. And this woman is so baked into this lie, she can't get out of it.
He talked way less to the press than Donald Trump does. Way less. And he wasn't out there at all. He wasn't good off the cuff. He wasn't doing press conferences. Let's just be real. Like, he didn't do paid events.
I mean, the guy's so right. Let's just be real. And she can't be real. She's still lying to the American people. It's embarrassing.
After that interview, Joe Biden's going to say, she's out of my life.
I'll be happy when you've exhausted the discography.
I think that's it. I might have a couple more, but I'm about out.
615-737-9986. Let's talk to Mike in Old Hickory. What's up, Mike?
How you doing?
Mike, if I were any better, well, let me put it this way. I feel better all over than I do anywhere else. How about that?
Well, very good. Are you going to vote for some Donnie? Because I am. because the reason I am is because this is the opportunity of a lifetime for conservatives. Now, you don't have to be a Republican or a Libertarian, but a conservative, to allow this guy to now become the New York mayor and now the titular head of the Democrat Party with AOC and all these people backing him, including the imam who is a Jew hater and hates America. I think we should stop trying to stop Zamdani. I think we need to help him get elected.
Well,
I
consider myself in the camp of there's a thought process that Curtis Sliwa needs to pull out of the race, and I don't agree with that. I don't think that Curtis Sliwa owes it to anybody to pull out of the race, because the Cuomo people are telling Sliwa that if he doesn't pull out the race, that they're going to cost the race for Cuomo, and that Cuomo is a much more moderate candidate. For me, I don't think Sliwa owes Cuomo a damn thing. Secondarily, Cuomo would be only a slightly better version of Mamdani. And frankly, I think the people of New York deserve what they get if they elect a socialist that has declared he's going to raise taxes on the super rich, has declared that he's going to create a dynamic by which they begin moving themselves and their businesses out of that city. He is going to create a desire to leave New York City based on his announced policies alone. And I can't imagine what he truly is going to do with the New York City Police Department. But, yeah, I agree with you, Mike.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. Let's not start fighting against him. Don't fight against him. Let him dig his own hole. Let the New Yorkers dig their own hole, because then Mamdani is then going to become the head of the Socialist, Communist, Democrat Party all of next year during the midterms. And I just love this, and I really get mad at Republicans trying to stop him. I want him elected, because New Yorkers, they don't elect Republicans anyway. They don't elect conservatives anyway. Let's get him in there and then let him push his agenda. We win.
I want them to, and thank you, Mike, for the call, a reasonable call from Mike in Old Hickory tonight. I believe that they will get exactly what they vote for if they vote Mamdani in. And I say let them eat the cake. Let them get what they vote for. Let them get what they support. And maybe, just maybe, it will wake some of the people up in New York City. I was a little confused because you said, I'm voting for him. I don't think you can vote in New York City. But I certainly do agree with the premise that that they're going to get their comeuppance as a result of their vote. Now, if you've been following closely the mayor's election in New York, you'll know that, Andrew Cuomo was dispatched of by this leftist socialist, Mamdani. He then came back, and he's running as an independent. Curtis Sliwa, longtime New York resident, founder of the Guardian Angels there in New York. Sliwa was battling the crime problem long before it was fashionable to do so. In his silky red jacket and his red beret. Well, Sliwa has left that behind for a nice suit, as he is an older guy now, but he is running for mayor, and he's getting about 15 or in some polls 20%. And now the Cuomo people are begging him to drop out of the race, saying, if you drop out of the race and support me, that's the only way that we can prevent Mamdani from winning. Well, what does Curtis Sliwa owe Andrew Cuomo? Nothing. Andrew Cuomo will only be marginally better than Mamdani. He will only hurt New York a little less. And frankly, Mamdani is closer to the point that we have far too many leftists supporting socialists in the United States of America who has made it a mission to destroy capitalism and the free market. In the largest, and some would say greatest city in the United States of America. And I would not say that it's the greatest city any longer. It's certainly the biggest. And it is the epicenter of capitalism in the United States. And he will do his best to destroy it. 8695 says, is that the best New York has to offer? Feels like Tennessee. Well, obviously, you've not looked into Curtis Sliwa. Curtis Sliwa was the real deal. But Curtis Lewa couldn't win dog catcher in New York City because New York City's lost its ever-loving mind. Secondarily, I would suggest to you that we have some pretty good political figures in the state of Tennessee as well. I believe in them. Not all of them, but many of them. 23 after the hour on Super Talk. Well, I need to find out about the homeless man prank. I haven't been talking about that. Do you know what he's talking about, Jackson? The homeless man prank? We need to talk about that in a minute. It can be hard to find someone that you trust when it comes to large home repairs. That includes heating and cooling. Well, now's the time to focus on the heating of your home. Have you turned it on yet? If not, you're going to very soon because it's getting cool in the evenings now, folks. And with that cool weather comes a heater that you turn on, hasn't been on for 6 months, and here you go with the smell, and you got the burning off of the coils and the dust and the dander, and it's coming out, and it's affecting your health, it's affecting your pets, it's affecting your kids. Let's not do that. Let's call Jeff Edigan, Efficient Heating and Cooling. A smaller company with big service and big results. They can come out, and for $125 or less, they will service your heater, make sure that it's running with peak efficiency. Make sure that everything is A-OK this season. And, oh, by the way, don't forget about their maintenance guarantee. If you call them out for maintenance of that unit, and oftentimes it's much less than $125, that is the upper end cap no matter how many units you have or where you might be. Well, if you call them out for a maintenance, if they have to come back out to service the unit for any reason over the wintertime, this winter, they're going to waive that service call fee. That's their commitment to you at Efficient Heating and Cooling. Efficient offers financing if you need it. If the time has come, they're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem. They can help you out by finding the right heating unit for you and your family. EfficientHVAC.net, EfficientHVAC.net, or 615-784-4424, 784-4424.
Rutherford County property owners may see some tax changes after what the Tennessee Comptroller claims to have found. That story and more at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Well, thank you, Ken Weaver. We look forward to those conversations coming up in just a moment or two. Look forward to you on the phone, 615-737-9986. Coming up just after that newscast that Ken Weaver just told you about, we will offer you our Murphy Movie Mayhem movie reviews. Jackson and I are playing a little game with one another where we throw out a couple of movies on Fridays. We challenge one another to watch these films, and then we come back and we review them for you, the listening audience. And this month we are focused in, I guess we got one more Friday to go. We are focused in on,
No.
What do you mean?
Halloween is a Friday.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I may give you a non-horror movie this week.
What? Okay. Well,
it takes place in October, but it is not a horror movie.
It's your choice. Our films this week, I gave you The Shining. You gave me Us, the Jordan Peele film. And we both actually fulfilled our duties.
Yes.
We both. I don't know. I choose not to doubt you.
I watched the movie.
I had a bet going that you wouldn't get through it.
I dozed off a little bit. I woke back up for the good part.
Well, yeah, with the blood and the.
It was like 30 minutes. I missed a good middle chunk.
Say that slowly, but. I mean, slowly but surely the truth comes out. I think
it was on. It was late.
Were you focused on other things, Jackson? You have a little toddy in your hand? You have a little toddy?
I did not. I was refreshing Twitter looking for Tony Vitello news.
Uh-huh. I get it. I get when young Danny is on his big wheel riding down the hallways, it can get a little tedious.
I definitely missed that.
Jackson, you missed one of the best scenes in
Well,
the whole
did you
movie.
miss when he cut down the hallway and he saw the two girls?
I mean, I've seen that on you. Like, I've seen that scene.
You missed that scene?
I definitely missed that
And you're going to review this film?
It was boring, Matt.
I don't know what we're going to do with this generation, y'all. They need constant stimulation. Constant stimulation.
I mean, just once an hour would have been nice.
Can't watch can't watch 45 minutes.
It is 3 hours a movie.
Can't watch 45 minutes of exposition while they slowly just walk around a hotel and don't say much.
Nothing happens.
Well, he's going crazy, Jackson.
I was going crazy.
More in a moment from you, buddy boy, and we'll get to Jeff and Kevin as well on the issue of No Kings, New York City coming to mind. Right now, it's Ken Weaver's turn on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Rutherford County property owners could see tax changes after the Tennessee Comptroller, that is, found 1 in 4 property assessments were wrong. Mistakes included missing buildings, incorrect square footage, misclassified properties.
We found that even the attempted corrections were riddled with errors. When you don't have assessments done in a fair and equitable manner, property-owning taxpayers lose confidence in the taxes they are paying.
Officials are now considering a full reassessment, calling for accountability from the county's property assessor. The comptroller recommends Rutherford County hire an independent firm to reassess all 130,156 parcels. Estimated cost is over $3 million. Police in Atlanta say they thwarted what could have been a mass shooting at one of the country's busiest airports today. Authorities say Billy Cagle of nearby Cartersville drove to the south terminal of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to assess crowd levels. But police got a tip and arrested him at the airport, says Chief Darren Shirebaum.
Cartersville Police Department was alerted by the family of Mr. Cagle that he was streaming on social media, that he was headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up. And the family stated that he was in possession of an assault rifle.
His pickup truck, they say, had an assault rifle in it. Money News, Michelle Franzen.
After a volatile week last week, the markets rode a wave of gains Monday after Apple stocks hit an all-time high as new data shows that iPhone 17 sales in China have outpaced the iPhone 16, with standard sales rising by 1/3. The Dow Jones closing 515 points up, the Nasdaq rising 310, and the S&P ending 71 points ahead. Internet users were still experiencing disruptions into the afternoon hours after a widespread outage of Amazon's cloud computing service Monday had pushed a number of websites into the dark. Banking institutions, schools, and government apartments all affected as Amazon confirmed a rolling fix is in place. Gucci owner Kering has sold its beauty division to French giant L'Oreal in a $4.7 billion deal, allowing the two companies to collaborate on wellness and beauty products under both names.
While we're on the subject of money, I just got an alert from the New York Post that says the White House has agreed to cancel student debt for thousands, actually millions of borrowers. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Belmont area got a crash blocking the left lane, 440 eastbound, just past Hillsborough Pike and 21st Avenue. That's going to be exit 3. I'm Ken Weaver.
Grace Point Healthcare, affordable, convenient, and comprehensive medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. That means they're in a direct pay format. Why does that benefit you? Well, as a primary care provider, it means all treatment decisions are made between you and your doctor, not the insurance companies or the pharmaceutical industry. Whether you're paying by the visit or you enrolled in the Smart Care plan, more on that in a moment, you always know you're getting exceptional care at an affordable price and never any long wait times at Grace Point Healthcare. Most times they can see, if you call in the morning, they can see you same day. Certainly next to day services available, even for brand new patients. Now, on the basic Smart Care plan for $99 a month for grown-ups and $79 a month for the kids, they can treat you any day of the week, all year long, and you include basic labs and diagnostic testings. It is real value. Plus, you can pay for this through your HSA account, your health savings account, which is awesome, and that's thanks to the big, beautiful bill. Grace Point Healthcare treats the whole body with a comprehensive approach, and they want to see you. Conveniently located in Franklin, give them a call and schedule that appointment at 599-6868. Tell them I sent you. Will you do that? 599-6868 or online. Grace Point Healthcare, they are truly modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. For those of you that claim that I never disagree with Donald Trump about anything, y'all need to listen up. Because I strongly disagree with this move by the White House made earlier today. It is not true that I've never disagreed with the White House about anything. As a matter of fact, I was on the record as saying that I wouldn't have voted for the big, beautiful bill. I did not believe that it went far enough, and sadly, we're seeing why I was so concerned about it right now before our very eyes. Inasmuch as we can't even get a continuing resolution at current spending levels without the Democrats thinking that they've got a winning hand. More on that coming up before we get out of here with Hakeem Jeffries over the weekend telling Jonathan Karl of ABC News that he's not negotiating with anybody. They are acting like political terrorists. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It is true. But I'll say this. I don't know all of the details of this latest story that came out a couple of hours ago on the Trump administration canceling student debt, but I disagree with it. According to the New York Post, the Trump administration canceling student debt for millions of borrowers, a pivot from its previous moves to block some of the loan forgiveness. In an agreement with the American Federation of Teachers, the White House will again start processing student loan forgiveness for eligible borrowers in two low-income-driven repayment plans, home contingent repayment and pay-as-you-earn until they expire. Trump's BBB, Big Beautiful Bill, is slated to phase out those two programs July of 28. They have over 2.5 million enrollees total. Tremendous win for borrowers, et cetera, et cetera. Under Friday's agreement, borrowers who become eligible for student loan forgiveness this year will not owe federal taxes on the relief. The Department of Education has not immediately responded. Earlier in the year, the White House paused student loan forgiveness under some of the income-driven repayment plans. These programs recalculate the borrower's monthly payment. On its face, I disagree with that. You pay what you owe. You borrowed the money. You should pay for the money. It is not my fault that you thought you were going to make money with your English degree. It is not my fault that you thought art history was a winning move in college. Hell, it's not my fault that you didn't take a pause and work for a year and collect up enough money to actually pay for it as you went along, which is a perfectly reasonable option for those of you who do not have the money to attend college and don't want to have loans at the end of it. I had a few loans, not a lot, but a few. I worked. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I had to work. I was blessed enough to receive a couple of different scholarships. I received room and board for the first 2 years of school on a theater scholarship, and it got cut in half the last couple of years. But one way or the other, there are plenty of different ways to cut all of this up. Bottom line is, these are folks that know what they're getting into. They ought to know what their given profession is going to pay. And I'm sad for them if they bit off too much. Apparently, we're just going to forgive some of that. I'll get into the details coming up in a moment or in the next couple of days and report back to you what I think of it. Kevin is next up. Kevin, thank you for calling. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Cousin Murph.
What's up, Kev?
Well, I just want to, I know it's a little off topic, but I just wanted to tell you about my experience in downtown Nashville this weekend.
All right.
Okay, so Saturday night, I take my wife out to a very fine restaurant. I won't name the restaurant, but I'll just say it has a little magic in it. It was a beautiful night, absolutely beautiful night until we left. And when we walked back out to go get our car and leave, it became all mayhem downtown. And I'm talking mayhem, like fights in the street, like things that I have never seen in my life.
But this is Saturday night?
People walking, yeah, Saturday night.
Around what time, if you don't mind?
Well, let's just say we got out about 11:30, but we got caught up in traffic, so 12 o'clock. But it was mayhem. It was raining, but there were a lot of people that still had the No King signs.
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a lot of fighting, and I mean, I saw women fighting women, I saw men fighting women, I saw men fighting men, I saw people walking over cars, and it was just literally mayhem.
Well, let me ask you,
And
Kevin.
I haven't heard.
Let me ask you. These were liberals?
Well, I don't know. It was just.
Well, I mean, the reason I ask, Kevin, I mean, I think it's a little presumptuous to assume their genders if they're liberals.
Well, no.
That's a joke.
I mean, it was just.
It's a joke.
I know.
Yeah.
But there were. I saw a bunch of no king signs and people like yelling about it and like, but it was just mayhem until we got through it all. And my wife was like, she was terrified. She's like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I didn't either. I was like, we'll be okay. We'll get through. And then there's the police everywhere, but they weren't doing anything. Everybody was just, it was mayhem. I had never seen that ever in downtown Nashville, like as bad as it was on Saturday night.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, I admit that I've not done any sleuthing on local media outlets like local television stations, or, you know, the Tennessean is pretty much useless. So I've not seen anything reported on this, but I'm going to look into it, Kevin. This is news to me.
Yeah. I mean, we went out like Joan Jones. It's her same anniversary, the 18th. So like that's why, you know, we went out.
Well,
we thought we'd do something special, you know, and God forbid. I mean, if she had gone downtown, she probably would have noticed the same thing.
Do you go downtown often? On the weekends?
No, not in years. You know, years ago I used to play downtown and do it. Yeah, but
well, I would say, Kevin, it's a
anymore.
different place. I mean, it is a different place than it used to be, even when I first got here in 21. Secondarily, I think the official No Kings. I'm not here to defend these people, but I think the official rally ended well before nightfall. So you probably experienced some of the individuals that were at the rally that spilled over onto Broadway. But honestly, Kevin, if you tell me about fist fights on the streets in Nashville, Tennessee, I would just tell you that's an average Saturday night, sadly.
Yeah, sadly. Yes, very sadly. But you go to a high-end restaurant and you don't expect to see that after you, like, had a great evening and you go home.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I get it.
It was just terrible. But I just wanted to let you know.
Look, if you don't like drunk people, don't go down there on a Saturday night, brother, because it is a bunch of drunk people down there on a Saturday. I can promise you that. All right, let's see. 47 minutes after the hour, got lots to get into, not the least of which, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Murphy Movie Mayhem. Big time review. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem, featuring and starring Matt Murphy and young Jackson Williams. It's an opportunity for us to gain a little culture in our lives as Jackson offers Matt Murphy a look into cinema of the last 20 or so years. Matt Murphy takes a look a little further back for Jackson Williams. I offer him a movie. He offers me a movie. And then we compare and contrast and offer reviews. Now, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Mine's probably a little easier.
Yeah.
So my film was, what's it called?
Us.
It's a Jordan Peele flick.
One of my favorites. I really like this movie.
From what, 2019?
I saw this in the theater.
Did you?
Yes.
So, all right, my review is this. A very unique concept.
It's a hair woke. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think about that.
Well, but let me tell. I'll give that to you on the back end. It's a family, a woman in the family. The lead female character, really the lead protagonist, has trauma in her early life, and you see some of that, and then some more of it comes out later on in the film. What actually happened to her in her early life, where she sees a doppelganger. A person that looks exactly like her, in this case, a child that looks exactly like her. And then eventually in the film, you realize that the doppelgangers are coming back. And I don't think I'm giving anything away when I say that things go very badly for the people. And, you know, toward the end, I came to realize there's a great twist right at the end of the film that I will not give away if you've not seen it. I think it was a fine twist. I think the twist itself, the concept was brilliant. I thought that it could have been a little bit better executed.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. You're right. I think it's scary as hell.
It's not really jump scary.
It's unnerving.
It's unnerving.
Oh, it's very, because you see these people having to face themselves and as animals.
Yes.
You know, just, yeah. So it is an unnerving film. I think thematically, you know, if I got into that sort of thing, you know, what are we trying to say? That if you succeed in life, it's on the backs of other people, or, you know, it's all about luck, and good fortune. It's not about hard work and work ethic. I think there's a little bit of that going on. I mean, if Jordan Peele's just trying to say, hey, we need to remind ourselves of how lucky we are to be born a couple of steps ahead of some other people around the globe, that's all well and good. It was a creepy-ass movie. It was a good movie. Overall, I'm a hard grader. I'm going to say B-, but I'm a hard grader.
Let's do it on a Murphy scale. How many out of 5 Murphys?
I'll give it, I'm going to go ahead and give it 3.75 Murphys. John.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think out of 5 Murphys. Now, let's get to The Shining.
Okay.
Jackson, how much of this film did you see?
I probably missed a good 45 minutes in the middle.
Where you fell asleep?
Yes.
What I want you to do, because this one's old enough that we can do this, because we're not spoiling anything for anyone. If you've not seen a movie from 1980 by now, then that's your bad. Just tell me what the plot of the film was, Jackson.
So this guy gets a job as a hotel. He's going to keep the hotel because they can't have it open during the winter.
Okay.
Because nature will retake the hotel, and they obviously want to keep it open, but it can't be open during the winter due to snow.
Okay.
So him and his family move out to this hotel, and you spend a good amount of time living there and doing various things. And this is where I fell asleep because it was boring.
Okay.
And then
let's see. Let's all see where Jackson woke up again.
He slowly starts to descend into madness.
Yes.
He writes, "All work and no play leaves Jack a dull boy."
Dude, that moment in the film.
Yes.
Where you've watched him type, and he's you know, you see him typing.
He's an author, which is why he thinks this is a good job for him, because he can finally
write his novel.
Yes.
And you think he's typing, you hear him typing all the time. And then that moment where she looks at what he's been typing the entire time, and it's all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Oh, my God.
One thing I didn't specify, they had told him when he took the job that the last guy they hired to do this killed his entire family.
Yes.
And you meet this fella.
Yeah, you do. Grady. Grady was his name.
So I didn't really understand this. Maybe the 45 minutes I missed explains this. Is he just hallucinating, or is he back in time?
Well, isn't that the question? Well, Grady looks at him and says, "You're the caretaker here. You've always been the caretaker here." So the question is, was he hallucinating? The bottom line,
I choose to believe that he was hallucinating.
The bottom line is this: the hotel was screwing with him.
And it got him. It got him good.
It got him.
And he's chasing after his family. And then at the very end of the movie, it pans to a picture of him back in the 1920s hotel.
So here's one of the reasons that Stephen King...
Meant to turn my mic
No,
off.
that's all good. One of the reasons that King didn't like the movie was that Jack was a good man in the book, and he was trying to be a good man, and the hotel took advantage of his weaknesses and turned him against it. So it wasn't a guy just going crazy in a hotel. It was a hotel turning a guy crazy. And Stephen King did not feel like that they accomplished that and they preyed on past experiences in the present circumstance. So that was kind of Kubrick's nod to the idea that he had always been in the hotel and it was the hotel controlling the experience the entire time.
Like a house of horrors.
Yes. Well, you got it for the most part.
Yeah.
Red Rum! Red Rum! It's a great film.
I give it 2.
You give it 2 out of 5 Williamses?
Too much
2 out of 5 Jacksons?
This was the first movie I objectively just wasn't a fan of. Which I'm not a huge horror fan in the beginning, and it's a 3-hour horror film.
It's a long build. I agree with you. It's a long build, but you got to admit that when he sticks his face in there, here's Johnny. That's great.
It's a great scene, and it's iconic.
Iconic scene, and now you can say that you've seen the movie that the film is from.
Well, all but 45 minutes of it.
Oh yeah, well that was just probably a lot of Danny rolling around, and you probably missed. Did you miss the hot chick in the bathtub that turns into? See, you missed it. You missed the naked scene with the hot chick in the bathtub. You missed that?
Yes, but I saw it so I had to look up the ending because I didn't really get it.
Okay, fair.
And so that they nodded back to that ending. Didn't she have like gangrene or something?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she either drowned or killed herself. She was believed to have killed herself in the bathtub. All right, that's how we do it. Hooray for Hollywood. Yay. I would play the music, but we got to go. It's 55 after the hour on Super Talk.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.